The Nimble with Numbers team presents Chalked Blocked with Bo Big Time McBrayer.
Bam! I gotta know what a $5 shake tastes like.
That's hot. That's hot.
I want winner, Bo. You don't know diddly.
And his partner, Scott Stag Simpson.
Do you know who I am?
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks. Let's make a move. Let's make a move. Let's make a move.
You guys, welcome back to Chalk Blocked, the world's sexiest DFS show for now. I am Bo McBrayer, brought to you as always alongside Scotty Stacks himself, Nimble DFS, with the numbers, with the tape, Scott Simpson. Scotty, I think you might have had like a seizure last week because you scored 178 points in a head-to-head. That was the highest total of the season so far in the clash of the Beards and Bellies. I'll give you the floor because that was impressive. I thought I did pretty good, and I got my ass kicked.
You know what? I was saving it up because you've been beating my ass 4 straight times. It was very embarrassing, and I had to go into the Beats lab, a.k.a. my basement here, and just get to work on studying the slate. And you know what? I did. I found some value wide receivers. You know, our guy, Jamar Chase, has been crushing it. People have been ignoring, T. Higgins. Not anymore. He blew up. And then, I mean, goodness gracious, Chris Godwin was the best play last week. You could just see it from his value perspective. Was he 6,600, something like that last week? 65. It was gross. So those were kind of easy slam dunks. Here's what you did. You hit like 150 something. So you had a solid lineup that would have beat anybody.
I thought I had it made because my calls were pure. My value plays 3x'd. And it doesn't matter when your opponent rosters 3 wide receivers in a cash build. So he went 2 running backs and a flex running back. He had 3 wide receivers. Those 3 wide receivers combined for 84 points. And when that happens, you just tip your cap and you take the L.
Well, you know what? I was very on it last week, and I didn't cash my $100 double up. I got 160 points. I did not win. The numbers were just really off the charts last week, too. So hopefully this week it brings some balance. The prices are not as depressed. Last week, you could look at tight ends were cheap, running backs were cheap, wide receivers were cheap, and even quarterbacks were a little cheap. This week, not as much. They raised the prices on the tight ends, obviously, with Kittle and Kelsey on the slate, and they've also raised the prices on some quarterbacks. We've got some more main guys there, but they've left some low-hanging fruit, man. I can't wait to talk about Dak, brother. Oh, my gosh. Cowboys.
Ooh, me likey Dak Prescott at 6,700.
I
Against the no-namers.
If it would have been 69, it would have been like, the best play in the history of the world.
Who is 69 this week that I think is pretty fitting is George Kittle.
He is. And his matchup, I think he's running back against Cincinnati. Someone else is 69, $100 on that slate as well. We'll get to that later. It's called a tease, folks. But you are listening to the world's sexiest DFS show for now. I am Scott Simpson. This is my guy, Bo McBrayer, Bo_McBigtime. Please go check him out on Twitter. Let me show you what he looks like on those tweets. He has had a haircut in the picture, so he looks a little different, a little younger, a little less hair. But this is Bo McBrayer. Go follow him on Twitter. And then Bo works for Ball Blast, IBT Media. He jumps in here with me, Dynasty Vipers. He does everything, Sports Me app. But his baby is Hotbox. Finally got my money out of DraftKings. Going to put it into Bo McBigtime's Hotbox. I won money last year on DraftKings, invested in DraftKings, lost money, of course. And now I'm going to.
Yeah, that works.
Now I'm going to pay up for some Bo McBigtime business opportunity. I'm really excited about this. So go check him out. Big Time Flavor.
The ceiling is the roof because, as Scott knows, the flavors are insane. And they're all clean. All clean. Yeah. We are brought to you by Big Time Flavor Co., my company that I own and operate. And we're always going to be brought to you by Big Time Flavor Co. So go into bigtimeflavor.co. We are running a sale, 12% off all orders over $40 until Christmas Eve at midnight Pacific time. That's when Santa comes and the sale ends. but 12% off all orders over $40 from here until Christmas Eve at midnight Pacific.
I love it. I love it. I do want to say they're all good, right? My wife loves the Amigo. I mean, Shelby Street Heat. That's delicious. But the signature is the Hot Box Gourmet hot sauce. And I got to say, that is the best hot sauce I've ever had in my life. So do go check that out. And we have some programming announcements. I want people to know this if you're going to be here with us for the next couple weeks. Next week, I do have a Christmas party, so I will not be here. Bo Big Time will be here, and I'm sure he'll have a special guest to fill in. Somebody smarter, better looking than me, way more.
Oh, by far. By far. That's a low-hanging fruit.
Easy. You could just pick up. Jordan Bannock could be here, and all of a sudden.
That would brighten my evening. That would be amazing. Better. Yeah. So Jordan definitely is invited. I already threw out invitations to a couple of my NFL Network guys, Adam Rank and Marcus Grant. Marcus already said, "Hey, would love to do in the future," but that night didn't work for him. So we're going to move on and try to find a big name to replace a big name. I mean, Scott Simpson, he's kind of a big deal. He's a DFS Sherpa, and I think that if somebody can score 178 points with a single bullet in a head-to-head matchup where you're trying to get a little bit conservative in some places and get a little aggressive in other places, it's tough to break off those big point totals when you're trying to you're focused on basically outsmarting the other person and building a more a lineup that can win more often than not. And that's really all I'm trying to do to beat Scott is to try to get inside his head and just kind of leverage his plays against him. So, yeah, I do read a lot of Scott's stuff just so I can beat him in the clash.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that you like to pivot off and leverage off of my plays, you mother.
I'm doing it very accurately this year too. I've been picking up your favorites and leveraging them almost at 100% clip this year.
Here's what I did this week, though, and we'll get to the clash in a little bit because Bo is smart and he's trying to come back off a loss. I went as fast as I could. As soon as I put it in to DraftKings, I just went, what is the best lineup off of my dome? So I didn't even spend 8 hours researching. I didn't want to give anything away. I researched before, but I just went into the app, opened it up, said, these are my best plays. This is what I'm going to do this week. So we'll get to it. We'll see if Bo can take me down and make it 9-5. That would just be demoralizing. Or if
I must say that I like your best plays less this week than I have all season. So it's going to be contentious when we do get to that part of the show because I am going to lay on some smack talk because I think your lineup is going to be suffering.
I like that. I like that. Just take a look at the cornerback matchup for Tyler Lockett, and then you can start crying. But anyway, here's what we'll do.
Tyler who?
Tyler Lockett down. I'm going to beat your ass this week. Yes, by Tyler Lockett.
I thought he was in witness protection.
You thought that, but actually, he's been getting targeted at 8% targets the last 4 games, 8.6 average, something like that. So I'm not against Tyler Lockett raining down touchdowns to beat you. I think I need it, actually. So, all right, but we're doing a lot of teasing for the last segment of the show. Let's get into the first segment of the show, and that is the Slate Walk. Yeah, Slate Walk, brought to you by runthesims.com. Please check out Run the Sims. Use the link in the description below. If you're on YouTube, free account, sign up. Get some of the tools, not this tool. This is their projections for DFS, their optimizer. This is behind the paywall, but you're getting it here with us, checking out the behind the scenes.
$3.50 free.
You do. You get an hour and a half, 2 hours of kind of free content where you can see what is behind the paywall. And then if you want to jump in and pay for it yourself, please do. It's a great value. We love using it every single week. So let's talk about this first game. Oh, my goodness. The last time Kansas City and Las Vegas got together, our guy Patrick Mahomes scored almost 40 points. He had 5 touchdowns, 400 yards passing, was the nuts, but it wasn't on a main slate. It was on a Sunday night slate. So first time they faced each other on the mains this year. What do you think about this matchup? Is this negative 10 points that Casey's catching? Is that a bit much, or is it kind of what you see happening with Las Vegas kind of unraveling at the end of the season?
Yeah, Las Vegas isn't a good team, and they weren't a good team even with Gruden coaching them. They had one good game, kind of a rah-rah game coming off of that firing, and ever since they've been pretty dreadful. So it's hard for me to picture a team as hot as the Chiefs right now who see a good deal of different strategies to slow that offense down. And cover 2 shell has been the most successful, but even the Chiefs have adapted to that by now. And we've seen that the last couple games where they haven't looked amazing, but they've still looked like, oh, this is a really good football team. The Raiders are terrible, and they run a lot of cover 3, and they ran cover 3 last time in week 10. And that's why they were the slump buster. And the Chiefs aren't even slumping anymore because once the Raiders helped them bust out of the slump, they've been pretty good. And I think the Raiders have gotten worse. The Chiefs have gotten better. This might get really ugly. I think the Chiefs are going to win by 2 touchdowns pretty easily. They're going to get a lot of pressure on Derek Carr that they weren't even able to get on him in the first game. This is a hot team, and the Raiders are ice cold, and it's in Arrowhead. Yuck. Yeah, I think that if you go onslaught Chiefs, it's a pretty smart move, even if it costs a lot of money.
What do you think about in this matchup? If you are going to not go onslaught, if you want to consider some of the Raiders options, would you be looking at Renfro? I like Jacobs, particularly giving his 30 targets in the last 6 games or 5 games or so. 9 targets last week, which, you haven't seen that from Jacobs. You wanted to see it the whole time. You were thinking, when are they going to do this? This is what Josh Jacobs can do. We saw it in his collegiate career. So what do you think about him at 6,200 against Kansas City? Is it a good play, or is he just going to kind of get lost in the boat race?
It's really interesting to see that Renfro's picking up chalk. Jacobs is picking up chalk, but Derek Carr is not. So if I start to see, I'm going to check it tomorrow morning, and if Patrick Mahomes is trending towards double digits being rostered, I'm going to pivot to Derek Carr in this matchup because coming from behind, the Chiefs defense isn't a lockdown defense. They're a bend but don't break defense, and they're going to hope to cause some turnovers, which Derek Carr doesn't do a lot of. He's a pretty safe quarterback. I think that Derek Carr is a nice leverage play here. Jacobs and Renfro are both nice plays at their price. Renfro's a little overpriced. Jacobs is appropriately priced, but they're picking up a lot of chalk, and the pink and red at those positions with players that do have limited upside for a GPP play, like Jacobs and Renfro are great cash plays. But if we're trying to win big money, I look elsewhere that's even cheaper or more expensive, where your upside, your ceiling is just simply higher.
I'm really surprised about the Josh Jacobs rostership here, almost at 18%, pushing 20%. I thought it was going to be a sneaky little play.
Nope.
I have him in cash, but no, not sneaky at all in this matchup. All of it is going to him and Renfro. You're not really seeing any of the other ownership positions picking up. So you could leverage somebody like Zay Jones if you're really dumpster diving and you want that, upside. But I'm not.
Zay's projecting pretty well across both sites that we use for his price at 34. He's a home run hitter. Dan knows.
I love Dan, man. By the way, shout out Dan. Guy's crushing it this year. If you haven't noticed, go follow him on Twitter. Go check him out. You should get him to replace me. You know what I mean?
If he's available, I'll definitely shoot him a DM tonight.
Yeah. Cheers, Dan. I'm drinking the Balvenie, which is the 14-year-old aged Caribbean cask, one of my favorite single malt scotches in the world. Cheers to Pat Mayo for the Christmas bonus. Appreciate it, Pat. This one's on you, brother.
I got some Eagle Rare. It's very good stuff.
Well, your liquor cabinet, by the way, is impressive. I love it. It was so sexy. All right, Dan's jumping in. Question from Dan: Cam Newton or Taysom Hill this week? They're both priced in that mid $5,500, $5,400, $5,600 range. Where are you leaning, Bo?
Taysom Hill. You might have to look, like in my article, I said you might have to look through your fingers. Like, I can't watch. And you might have to have a puke bucket next to you because his brand of scoring 25 points is ugly, but he still does it, and he's got a great matchup this week. You cannot fade a guy against the Jets for any reason.
No.
And Cam Newton, last time we rode Cam Newton, absolutely atrocious. And even in a pretty good matchup in his own right, I don't like it at all because when Cam looks bad, you get 5 points. When Taysom looks bad, you still get 20.
Right?
I mean,
I was
it
gonna
makes
say he
no
scored
sense to
27
fade
points.
Taysom Hill this week.
No, I was going to say he had 4 interceptions, the most in his career. I think he had 4 previously in his whole career, doubled up his interceptions, still got you 27 points.
Who called that, by the way? Who called all the interceptions by Taysom Hill? I mean, it was some handsome guy, likes to wear his hat backwards, has to pick up dog poop before the show. And yeah, I haven't had a haircut in 4 weeks, and I'm scraggly and look like crap. But I'm still not playing Cam.
No, I'm not playing Cam either. And here's why I'm not going to play Cam. Joe Brady just fired. And one of the reasons that he was fired, apparently, the scuttlebutt, is not running the football enough and not effectively moving the ball down the field, throwing the ball too much. So that just kind of limits.
Especially when your quarterback is Cam Newton.
I know.
It makes no sense. They didn't use the running back position in the whole first half last week, and that was when Cam Newton was completing 20% of his passes. It was terrible.
So I mean, not that he can't bounce back and score you 18 points, but I like Taysom Hill's upside against the Jets. The Jets
are you muted there, Scott?
No, I'm not muted. Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
Scott seems to be losing audio. So
no. Can you hear me now? That's not good.
So I think another leverage play is Byron Pringle. That's one of my favorite kind of like dart throws, punt plays. Picking up pretty good projections for that price tag.
Am I back yet, Bo? No? Am I not back yet? You can't hear me? All right. I'm going to come out and come back in. Hello, hello. Can you hear me now? This is terrible. Oh, they can hear you both. Bo, you can't hear me, apparently. Craig says that I am able to be heard, but you cannot hear me. So that's not good. So, yeah. But everybody else can hear us. So that's excellent. So I have to figure out how to contact Bo. I'm going to call Bo on my phone right now and text him, let him know that you just can't hear me, which is not good. But apparently everyone else can hear us. Okay, I texted Bo, let him know that he can't hear me, but everybody else can hear me. So hopefully he can change his input and he can hear me soon. I texted him. Very, very. The hearing was fine. Thank you. So we got 2 people, all good on the hearing. So Bo, something cut off on your mic. I just told him to check his headphones and see if he checks his headphones. Bo! Bo, the show is dying on the vine. We have to get back in line, sir. The hearing was good, but except you can't hear me, Bo. Bo is gone. Bo is left. Okay. Well, we'll get Bo back in here. I'll just say this. I'm disappointed in how many people are rostering right now Josh Jacobs. That's a surprise to me. I'm not heavy on him in tournaments, but I did think he might be a little bit of a leverage play in that game, and I saw a run back option. But I'm not doubting it completely, but I'm a little bit under the field on that right now. If it's going to be 17%, I think I'm have about 10% or less of my guy. Josh says all good here. Yeah, I think something happened on Bo's end because nothing. My board's running fine. Nothing really disconnected. Hopefully, Bo can get himself back online in just a second. So I like Bo's plays, though. He's looking to leverage some of the Pat Mahomes juice in this game. I do think they'll be able to, if the Vegas Raiders adjust and do the single high safety, I think move away from the single high safety to the 2 deep zone. We'll see if they can cover it. I'm not sure what that game is going to look like if Vegas doesn't get itself under control. Because if they don't score points, it could be 38-7 or 31-10. It could just be a huge blowout. So, all right, I'm moving to the game that I think is my favorite game and one of Bo's favorite games of the whole slate walk as well. And it's the Washington football team hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Growing up here, they called them the Dallas Cowgirls. That's insensitive. That's not appropriate. We're not going to do that. I love this game. I immensely love this game. This is one of my favorite games on the whole slate, particularly Dak Prescott. Bo was mentioning it before. Dak Prescott, Bo's audio died and StreamYard crashed for him. So hopefully he can reboot and get back in. And his computer can get back on. Dak Prescott, I was shocked when I heard Sal Battery say today he was under 6% rostered. That 5.7% is really low. I'm surprised it's that low. I'm hoping that it'll go not up past 8%. If you're getting this percentage tomorrow for Dak, I think it's one of the best plays on the board in GPPs. The game total is at 48, so there's going to be some points projected here by Vegas. Dallas has the most explosive offense in the NFL, scoring around, not scoring, but points, notwithstanding, yards about 419, so 420 a game. Washington dead last against quarterbacks, and then 30th against wide receivers. They're going to give up some points to Dak. I think Dak has an opportunity here, if you're playing him in cash or in GPP, just to be a solid, great play. You're looking at Tony Pollard probably missing the game with his foot injury. So there's going to be more emphasis on the passing game. You get Amari Cooper back as well. I really love this. And if I'm going to play this game, and we didn't do any stacks because Bo kind of got kicked out. But if I'm going to do this game, I'm definitely going to be stacking up this game with some run back options. And if you can see here, there's not a lot of, oh my goodness, this rostership here for Antonio Gibson is insane. I mean, his price at $6K, he's one of the best upsides this week. Even according to Run the Sims, he's got a 27 point ceiling, which is great. But his projected rostership, 23%, almost 25%. That is suboptimal. Yeah, that gives you some negative optimal leverage in that. That's not going to be helpful. But if you're making him part of a run back stack with some of these other lesser projected rostered friends, then you can make yourself a little bit of some chin-chang. So let's do this. Let's build some stacks with this. I hope Bo can find his way back into the show, because honestly, I love doing the show, but I do the show with Bo. Bo's the expert. I rely on him to give me a little bit of the perspective. So let's build a stack here. If I'm stacking this, I'm going to be stacking with Dak. And I want one of his wide receivers. You could also stack him up with two if you want, at least. You could do a tight end with Dalton Schultz. He's the tight end 4 or 5 this year so far. So actually, no, that's Gesicki. Sorry, I'm inflating my white tight ends. I think I'll check and see. I think he definitely is top 10 so far. So Schultz is an option. If you're going to have him run back over here, I do want Antonio Gibson in this matchup. He had 3 touchdowns last year against Dallas, which shows he does have just a little bit of mojo against the Cowboys, which I like. So let's do this. It's going to be a 5-man stack here. Ooh, oh man, this is sexy. I really like it. Geez Louise, this total is something. I mean, it's $28,000, but 133 point projected. I'm not going to go John Bates here at 3,000 unless they're saying that Ricky Seals is out. And Ricky Seals is questionable, but if Ricky Seals is gone, then yeah, Bates. And actually, I'll check and see real quick. We'll go back and see what it said. I actually saw it on the ESPN earlier today for the injuries, and he was questionable. So maybe it came out while I was prepping for the show. But let's go over here and put Ricky Seals-Jones in here. And we've got Amari, Dak. I like this stack. I'll put this at 4%. And if anybody has heard any news about Ricky Seals, let me know if he's out. If they're putting John Bates in there, projecting him, I can put a couple of John Bateses in there as well, 3%. But I do like Amari Cooper at 5,900. He's a great value, and I don't think he's going to be rostered. If we go back to our player pool, take a look at him for wide receivers. His rostership right now, only 8%. That's not very high. I really do like that. So double stacking makes a lot of sense. It is better with me and Bo. I agree, Craig. It's exactly better. My man says, run it back with McLaurin. Likely it'll be a shootout. My man Nate says, what's up? What's up, Nate? Glad you're here. Glad everybody's here. Wish Bo is here. Bo is here for a while. And then I think his computer either fried and died, or his headphones fried and died. Something happened where he got booted. So Bo's hopefully looking to get back in. We're texting here as I'm producing, talking, and tweeting, trying to get everybody back in. I'm not against the McLaurin run back either. So if I build another stack with this, McLaurin only 7%, 8% rostered. He does have a nice ceiling. He's done well against Trayvon Diggs as well. He's gone for, I think, 22, 16, so around 18, 19 points per game against Diggs the last 2 matchups. He had a nice big touchdown. He almost had 2 touchdowns. He was out at like the 2-yard line in that matchup last year in Washington. So I know Diggs has 9 interceptions this year, leads the NFL, and is trending towards all pro. Just given that number, it's pretty ridiculous. He could maybe break the all-time record, but Terry McLaurin has, as they say in the business, owned him a little bit. So I am into that. So let's build a stack with McLaurin in it, and we'll take out Gibson. So we'll run it back. We'll do a Dak. We'll do 2 here. We'll do no tight ends here. We'll just give it all to McLaurin. Oh man, this is a nice sexy stack here. I'm gonna give myself 5% of this. Dak, Terry, CD, and Amari. I'm also gonna gallop it up a little bit. I don't want to leave Gallup in the lurch, so I'm gonna give myself 3% of Gallup this one as well. You could also build a stack with a tight end, throw a tight end in there. If you want to have Dalton Schultz in there, not a bad play. I'm not going to do it right now. Full practice, good to go. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what the Bates thing was there in the projection. That kind of just threw me, but I do like Ricky Seals-Jones. We've seen what he can do in the middle of the field. He does get targets. He'll get some red zone targets as well. Heineke is a Brett Favre-esque slinger, right? He likes to gun it around. So that's somebody that will definitely have opportunity in this game. I project him to have between 4 to 5 targets. One of those being a red zone target. He turns it into a touchdown. That's what you need. But I'm going to stack him up too much in this. I'm going to jump around and build some other stacks as well. So next matchup, Cleveland versus Baltimore. I love how Cleveland, they had a game against Baltimore. They had a bye, right back against Baltimore, right? Let's double trouble against Baltimore, which gives them a little bit of an advantage in this game. Coming off the loss, though, where Lamar Jackson threw the ball 4 interceptions to Cleveland, and they were not able to win. So Cleveland at home -3. This game, I'm interested to think, but we'll hear both things about this game. I'm not heavy on this matchup. I'm not in love with Lamar in this. I know he's got a good ceiling. I put him as my 9th best stack of the week for the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and I did pair him up. If you're going to stack him, I stacked him up with his number 1 target, which has been Mark Andrews the last couple weeks. So that's how I would run this game back. I just became a little boy again. Mark Andrews at 5,900. His projection over at Run the Sims 13.76, but he does have upside in this matchup with the way Lamar Jackson kind of targets his wide receivers and tight ends. There's a funnel. If you've noticed, Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown are the 2 primary recipients of most of his targets. So that target share also gives a little bit of leeway to Rashad Bateman, but I do like Mark Andrews as the best play with Lamar this week. And then, Jarvis Landry, he had an injury distinction. It's kind of gone, questionable distinction. It's gone now. 5,400, a good price. We've seen him throw the football for touchdowns. We've seen him, catch touchdowns as well. So Jarvis Landry, not a terrible play. He is rostered almost 15% though. So if you're going to do it, you might want to stack him back in a run back, give yourself a little bit of leverage. So go Lamar. I'm also going to put in, okay, there we go. Put in our guy, Mark Andrews, rock it and roll it. We've got Lamar 74, Jarvis at 54, Mark Andrews 59. I like that stack. That's a nice little stack. Lamar projected for 35 points. This might be the high side of all their projections because it looks like their projections are the ceiling. They're putting their ceiling projections in here. That's why the projections were so high, 126. That was pretty ridiculous. Oh, wait, we might have him back in the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We've only lost 1 viewer during that time. Thank God. Bo, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Bo? Are you back? I see him. I can hear him. Can he hear me? He's putting the headphones in. We're testing right now. Can you hear me?
Yeah. All right.
You can hear me. Thank God, brother. Oh, man. I built a few stacks without you. I told everybody that yeah. Are you okay?
Yeah, I restarted the computer, and then my wife brought me tacos, so I didn't rush back.
Thanks for leaving me in the lurch, you son of a bitch. Here's what's happening. I realized this. In the projections, which is pretty cool, Run the Sims is putting in their ceiling projection for some reason. I'm not sure why. I didn't think I clicked ceiling projections, but these totals are going to be astronomical. So when you see Lamar Jackson stacked with Landry and Andrews and their projections 82, 86, that it would be on like the best of most opportune time. So I want to freak
you guys
out.
Get your high noon sun sips. Not a sponsor, could be a sponsor. Hashtag sponsor us. High noon sun sips.
Not a big deal.
They're refreshing any time of year.
Not a sponsor, could be a sponsor. They're actually looking for people to buy in down in DC from the DC Brow, which I love. They're the best. DC Brow. This is their Oktoberfest found in the back of the fridge. Cheers to you and everybody who's here. Warren, Butler, Craig, Josh, Devin, Nate, the whole crew. I appreciate you guys coming, hanging out with us on a Saturday night. I do want to say, we didn't get to touch on this, Bo. On Christmas, 10 o'clock, your boys will be here on Christmas.
Yeah.
We'll be talking DFS. We
Booyah.
fucking love football, and we fucking love Christmas. So we'll be talking Christmas, football. We'll be wearing Santa hats. We'll be drinking stuff.
And it kind of helps that we celebrate on Christmas Eve. I mean, if we're being honest.
I mean, I celebrate. I've been celebrating all December long. The dram I had today, Bo, if you haven't noticed, I have a whiskey a day box or a scotch a day. There's some whiskey in there too. But I have scotch a day box from the really good whiskey company over in the UK, and I've been testing out different whiskeys and scotches each day as a Advent present for my wife. Which I gotta say, shout out, lovely wife Rose, amazing. I'll cook my coverage in brains and beauty, and then in gift giving and love, all those things. And she's getting me the best Christmas gift. So cheers to her.
She hasn't figured it out yet, folks. So shh.
No, she has not. But we're not going to tell her. So let me ask you real quick. I was building a stack without you. So you tell me what you like in this. Yeah, in the Baltimore-Cleveland game, I said it's not one of my favorite matchups given the low total and the defensive struggles that have been ensued. Yeah, but if I did want to run a little stack back, who would you have played here? I bet 2% of Jarvis Landry, Lamar, and Andrews.
Why? No.
I'm a glutton for punishment.
I'm not doing it. Don't make me do it.
We're out. All right, we're out. Done with that game. Let's move over to Seattle. Houston.
Terrible.
Jump to a new game. Another terrible game. Bo hates this game. Yes. Talk to me about why you hate this game. This game's stupid.
Because I think Texans might beat the Seahawks. That's how stupid this game is. Because we just saw the Seahawks after being pretty terrible for 3 weeks. They actually came out and they beat the brakes off 49ers, who I thought were going to smash them. And now because the NFL is stupid and fantasy football sucks, the Texans are going to beat the Seahawks. That's just how these things work. I think it's going to be a really ugly game because the Seahawks suck. They really do. They're the most toxic franchise. I can't believe we talk about them. They're a 4-win team. Don't talk about a 4-win team like they're anything special. Yeah, because Russ won a Super Bowl. We're going to give him a pass on everything. He's been awful this year. Awful. Terrible. And DK Metcalf isn't even trying anymore. He's the next Kenny Golladay, if we're being honest, attitude-wise.
I agree. He has a terrible attitude, and apparently he's trying to get Russell Wilson to do a 4-way with him. You know what I mean? Him and his wife.
Well, I mean, who wouldn't in that situation? I'd be like, Russ, you can hold the camcorder. Yes, we still have the camcorder.
Still, like, does he not understand who Russell Wilson is? Like, that's like going to your pastor and being like, "You want to smoke a joint with me, pastor?" Your pastor's like, "Yeah."
So he's not the next Kenny Golladay. He's the next Percy Harvin. Okay, I get it.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, listen, I'm not against cannabis smoking, but you don't go do it with your pastor unless he's really cool, right?
Actually, I would totally do that.
I mean, I would, but my pastor isn't. Well, actually, you know what? You are my pastor, Bo. So,
like Church of the Fonz on Family Guy, like, hey,
yeah. But here's what I do like in this matchup. I'm gonna show you something that I like. It's cool. It's okay. You don't have to freak out about it.
Debatable.
Yeah, debatable. You're gonna say that. I knew you were gonna say all these things are debatable. So we're looking at here. We're on PFF. We are subscribers to PFF. We like PFF, right? So this is the only thing I'll caution you about here. If you go to PFF and they've got different situations you can look. You can look at the rosters, right? Which I like. It's a cool tool.
Who's the PFF guy? Ian Hartitz. He's
Hartitz. He is pretty sharp. This is one of my favorite tools as well, and this gives you just a chance to kind of see in a matchup, right? If you're going to match up against, let's say, a terrible team like Houston. And you're going to be running in your defensive shell. Well, who are you going to be facing? Like, what's going to happen here? So, most of the time, our guy Tyler Lockett is going to be up against Terrence Mitchell, who oh man, it's not been a great year for him. He's got a 58.6 PFF grade, and it's been dropping ever since he started in the league. It's not been good. This is one of those games, right, where you have somebody with a 4.6 speed against somebody with 4.3 speed. Maybe even 4.2 speed, right? Maybe not anymore. But this matchup on paper, if Russell Wilson cannot get sacked a bunch of times,
that's what we're worried about.
I know that's the only thing. Right? Can he get a 7-step drop twice? That's all we need. This is a liability for the Texans. I'm just going to say that right now. It's a matchup nightmare for them. So this is what I'm hoping will happen with Tyler Lockett.
They also just cut their best defensive player, Zach Cunningham, because he wasn't a good fit for the team. Right. He didn't meet team expectations on a team that shouldn't have any expectations. More than likely, Zach Cunningham just missed Bible study, which is required on the Texans. And that just like DeAndre Hopkins, they're just going to give you away. They're going to say, hey, we don't like that you're not a faithful person, so we don't want you as part of our franchise. Yeah. Why do you think all these different ragtag team of veterans has signed in Houston? It's all a religious thing. 29 one-year deals. That's ridiculous. That's one-year deals basically saying, hi, what's your name? I don't give a shit what it is. Get out there. Do you go to church?
Take me to church. That's all they
Jack Easterby's got his rattlesnake around his neck going, yay. How many times you go to church this week? If it's 2 or less, get the hell out of here.
Taking his prayer beads out of how many quiet times you have this week, boys? All right. So no, thank you. I will say this, though. I will say this. Tyler Lockett is my only play in this game. I'm not playing anybody else. It's not worth it. Lock it or drop it. Yeah, pop it, lock it, or drop it. That's how I'm not gonna put any stacks in this game at all.
This is not the hill to die on.
There's so many better hills. And by the way, I do have to go back to this game because I built some stacks without your permission. I need to build some more stacks.
I missed the good one.
Yeah, so I talked about how much we love Dak collectively. One of the best plays on the board is 6,700, but I did not build any stacks.
Everybody agrees with us. That's what I like about it.
I like that. I did not build any stacks with Zeke as a contrary. Let's say Dak does not ball out, right? And you want to run it back. Leverage. Yeah, leverage. I do want to build this up. I'm going to go Terry McLaurin over here. Do I want to do just a single, Zeke and Terry? Do I want to put Ricky Seals in there? How would you, or maybe a Dalton Schultz on this side? How would you approach this stack attack?
If you want to leverage this game, you're going to go Taylor Heineke, and you're going to go probably Seals, Jones, or McLaurin, and you're going to run it back with Zeke. You're going to go completely against the face that the chalk narrative is going to be Dak and a receiver or two out of the 3, and then you're going to run it back with Gibson. That's the chalky play for any of the stacks in this game. So going Heineke and McLaurin, running it back with Zeke, is you're missing a lot of that popularity, and you're still capturing the essence of a game that's probably going to be like 27-24, going to have some decent scoring.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I know. I like that a lot. Here's what's so crazy. Zeke is at 44.7% ownership right now. That is the stupidest.
Shut your mouth. Just shut up.
Fucking stupid thing I've seen all year.
Shut up.
Don't tell
me that we don't affect the chalk because it already happened this year.
I know, but don't tell Salvetri about this because he will talk about it to everybody tomorrow. So just keep it down. Don't tell anybody about this. This is crazy news.
Sal, I hope you're not watching tonight.
you could even, I mean, maybe it's not the best play, but you could even go.
It is though.
You could go Zeke.
10 weeks. He's had 10 days off of a bone bruise. So basically it's pain management. And 10 days on a pain management is so good for recovery. And then Pollard's plantar fascia tear. That's a huge injury. There's no way he's going to be able to play. Maybe even next week. That's a really painful injury that's really easy to aggravate. And Zeke being 10 days healthier than he was against New Orleans, where he didn't look terrible. He just didn't have the top end speed that you would expect from him because he's got a bone bruise in his knee. Yeah, imagine how much that would hurt and then get hit on it all day.
No, not good. Not good. So before you were not here, I built some Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Antonio Gibson, Ricky Seals Jones mega stacks. in
Mega
here.
stack.
I had a Dak, McLaurin, CD Lamb, Amari Cooper stack as well. So I'm playing CD Lamb everywhere. I think I'll be above the field on CD for sure. I think I'll be in the 20% range. I really like him this week. A lot of chalk will be on Godwin, Chris Godwin or God Chris one.
God,
And I think that you can leverage. You can get a leverage. God Chris one. The year God Chris one. Yeah. But let's jump out. We built those stacks. Let's. Yeah. Oh wait.
Michael Gallup. How much Michael Gallup do you have? Because I'm going to be way over the field on Gallup.
We have a lineup here with Michael Gallup in it instead of Amari Cooper for sure.
Okay. That one.
Yeah, so we did that one with the CD Lamb, Cooper, Dak, and Terry. We could build one right now though with him. We could take out our guy Zeke, keep in, and we could do a little. Here we go. Gallup, Dak, and Gibson. We'll put a little lineup in there.
Yeah, that's my kind of stack right there.
You don't want to leave anybody out in this game for sure. This is going to be one of the bigger games. I mean, look around it. You've got 2 48-point games and then 42, 40, 41, 43, 43, 42, 43. What the hell? Sorry. Excuse me. Yeah, sick. Gross. Just, ugh. But anyway, let's get over to the player pool. Back to Carolina and Atlanta. You are Chuba Hubbarding me in cash. I've been telling people to Amir Abdullah in GPP. I like how we're getting it right. I like how we're getting it right. This is how you play.
Abdullah
DFS.
will touch the ball more time, or Hubbard will touch the ball more times, which makes him a better cash play.
Yes.
And Abdullah has more upside because he's simply a better player. Like you watch him get 40% of the touches and put up more yards than Chuba Hubbard because Chuba sucks. But in cash, I'm going to take that 25 touches that Chuba is probably going to have and ride that volume, because cash is all about how many meaningful touches does a player get for his salary. And down at that price, I love Chuba Hubbard's value for just how many times he's going to get the rock. But Abdullah is definitely got more upside. I just like the way he fits in the offense.
Yeah. What we need to have happen in this game, honestly, is for Carolina's defense coming off of a poor performance, as you said, to rebound and to be stout against Atlanta. What's going to open this game up for Amir Abdullah is if the Atlanta Falcons score some points. And then that's going to maybe shift the narrative a little bit away from that wanting to run the football to having to kind of pass the football.
Do we trust the Falcons to do anything, man? They are so bad.
The only person I'm trusting in this matchup is Patterson from their side. I don't feel safe with anybody else. And I was thinking about your boy. I don't think that Kyle Pitts had a fair shake this year at all, being the number one wide receiver really on the team.
It's an absolute tragedy to watch him run wide open over the field, and then all of a sudden Ridley leaves the game, and we commend him for that. But ever since Ridley left, they went from Matt Ryan not being able to find him running wide open all over the field to him getting double teamed and Matt Ryan not even looking for him because he's double teamed.
Or forcing it in and getting incomplete passes or throwing it over his head.
Super ineffective offense. This offense has been a disaster except for Cordero Patterson. And then lately Russell Gage has been pretty good, but Cordero Patterson is the only bright spot on this offense right now. And it's because their offensive line and their scheme are just terrible.
Yeah. Not just that, but Cordell Patterson lines up in different and knows different positions, which makes him valuable and puts him in space against people. And that's where they're using him. And almost using Pitts as a decoy at times, honestly, but
he's drawing all that attention.
Yeah. Cordell Patterson is the GOAT. Love that, DB, for sure. Let's do this. Let's build a stack here with Cordell Patterson, right? We're going to put him in there. And then let's take a look at DJ Moore. I know that Run the Sims likes him. He's still tethered to Cam, which is not advantageous. But I do think he does have some.
Sure is a nice matchup. That sure is a nice matchup.
Right. Is Cam matchup proof here against Atlanta? I don't think Cam is, but I think maybe DJ Moore is.
Yeah, I like going that face off. Cordell Patterson's not really a running back, but if you go in flex stack like that, you're going to be doing pretty good with Moore and Patterson just matching up like that in a face off stack.
There's nobody else that I want to do this with, so we're just going to leave it at that. and then jump to a game we had talked about. Unless there's anybody else you want to talk about, anybody at all coming out of that Carolina game.
Nope, that's a puke bucket.
Puke bucket. Well, we'll jump into another puke bucket, at least on one side. We've got no Elijah Moore, which is disappointing. You saw his emergence coming, a couple of touchdowns last couple of weeks. Love us some Elijah Moore. We're big Elijah Moore truthers.
And our dreams were dashed today.
And it was a quad that set us back, unfortunately, down to the IR, I believe. Is he IR now? Not just out, or is he?
Yes, he's out for the season.
Yeah, he's out for the season, right? Yeah. So pour one out. I'm going to pour one in my mouth for Elijah Moore. That dude is a beast. He is going to be here for a while, folks. Hope you got him on your dynasty teams. I have him on almost all of them.
Yep, me too. And this game it's going to be a blowout. The Saints are just way more of a class team than the Falcons, and they're in a must-win. Or not the Falcons, the Jets. The Saints are in a must-win, or they're going to fall out of the playoff race themselves. Jamison Crowder actually for GPP, because he's not pulling any popularity this week. I actually like a little Zach Wilson leverage stack off the Taysom chalk. Pair him with Jamison Crowder, and then run it back with Kamara. And then I like doing the Saints onslaught too with Taysom, Kamara, and the Saints defense, and not running back with any Jets.
Yeah, for Crowder and Cash, I do think that is a huge one. He could get you a touchdown, 100 yards.
He's got sneaky. That's why he's not pulling any popularity in tournaments. I love that. I'm going to be sneaking some Crowder in all over the place.
I love DB bringing the fire into the chat. This is great. We've got 7 friends here in the YouTube chat.
Tons of DFS over there with him and Mr. Nate.
Yeah, crushing it. Let's also talk about building a stack here, an onslaught stack, and then we'll do one with Crowder in it, but we'll do onslaught because I just like saying onslaught. You know what I mean?
And who's gonna have Zach Wilson? No fucking buddy. That's who.
Oh, nobody will have him. Not one friend. No.
Saints aren't that good in coverage, so I don't know what. Like people think, oh, he's bad. Well, this is a battle of 2 bad quarterbacks who can both put up fantasy points. I mean, Zach Wilson last week was a very solid play in DFS.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing is, he's so cheap. It's about a price point. And getting, say Pat Mahomes at $8K, if you get you 25 points, so you can get 3 maxes, great for you. And that's going to be a good value, but you paid up for that. You lost that salary. It doesn't get to go somewhere else. You got Wilson in there and he gets you 20 points. Well, he's 4 maxed. So you've got a little bit of salary that you use for somebody else. And hopefully that was a successful leverage and you were able to use that and not just waste your money.
They called me a madman for stacking the Jets, but I've been making money this year. I did it with Mike White and Elijah Moore earlier in the year, and that was successful. And it's been fun.
They'll call you, maybe they'll call you.
We got both of the sons. The sons of DFS are in the house. We got Nate and Dan. Awesome. Shout out their Friday night show, one of my favorites. I always catch it at least before lock. I'm probably going to watch it into the wee hours of the night tonight. I'm going to cast my YouTube onto the big TV and watch Sons of DFS after this. Did we already discuss that game? Yeah, that's correct. If you want to get and spend your whole put a second mortgage up there on the Chiefs double stack with Mahomes, Hill, and Kelsey, and then just throw in a bunch of really weird value plays, that stack could be insanely high upside because the Raiders aren't going to stop them.
Oh my God. Did you see that stack? Yeah. The upside they have here is 106 for this stack. So run the Sims. I love the glitch on the Sims. This is making me happy just to kind of see what the total could be.
The narrator's probably going to come back and say it wasn't a glitch. Scott just changed something in the filters to make it so.
I don't think I did.
Probably did. You messed up. Don't blame it on Justin Freeman for your own shortcomings in running the Sims yourself. Put training wheels on Scott's Run the Sims site here.
I've used it the same way.
Do you have the little paperclip guy on the bottom of your screen? You're like, how can I help you?
No. This is
it will not allow me to run the Sims reasonably with non-ceiling plays.
Dude, I love Run the Sims and Justin Freeman, by the way. That dude is the real deal. One time when I was just going through some hardship, he reached out to me as a friend and was like, man, I put you on my prayer board today. I was like, oh, man, holy shit. You know what I mean? So that guy's the man. I know, man. That guy is awesome. Like, he cares about you as a person. He cares about you as a person, and he cares about your bottom line. He wants you to win money, and he wants you to use great tools. Like, literally, I could not be more blessed. We could not be more blessed to work with Justin, and so please support him. Go down there, sign up for a free account. I mean, it's free, right? Worst you can do is have a free account. Get some information from them. They're working with Pat Mayo as well. Shout out Pat, and Pete Oberzet, all the good folks.
Did you see the wonderful thing? Did you see the wonderful thing that happened to the Alvin Kamara chalk today from yesterday?
No, what happened?
It went from 30% to 16%.
Oh, I did see that. I couldn't believe he was 33% yesterday. I wrote about it in my article. I said it's just an insane pivot. You got to go Eckler pivoting off of that 33% chalk. It was so chalky. So,
guess what? Kamara, half of the exposure means I'm going to get twice the Kamara.
Right?
Because that matchup is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Do we not realize that there is no other running back on this team that they trust?
Right.
There's no other player on this team that they trust.
Right.
And the Jets are allowing 37 points per game to the running back position.
Yeah.
That's dead last by a long shot.
It's not good.
35.6.
They get up 22 touchdowns so far, friends. 2,700 total yards or 2,100 total yards. That's crazy numbers.
And we do know the last time Kamara went and broke the slate, guess who that was against? The Seahawks, who are the second worst.
Look at those bastards right there. Yeah. Only Rex Burkhead can save you now, friends. Let's just say that right now.
Yikes.
Yeah, not good. Not good at all. So, by the way, let me show you the tools I use. If you want to know any of the tools I use, this is the best site in the world, fantasydata.com. Shout them out. Love them. I use Run the Sims. I use Occupy Fantasy, PFF. I use fantasy.nfl.com. Those are the main ones I use. I also use teamrankings.com to go over how many rushing totals, things like that. Lots of others, but those are my go-to every week. I write all my articles. Particularly fantasy data, man. They're just the bomb. You can go in here and just give me anybody. Give me a player, Bo. I'll find them in less than 2 seconds. So, say a name. Do it.
Braxton Berrios.
Braxton Berrios. Right. I love it. Okay. So not too hard to do. Next thing you know, I'm a little bit off there. Sorry, a little bit off.
Yeah, okay. You are such an embellisher.
It's not that hard. The problem is
5 seconds. It took you 5 seconds.
Okay.
Don't hit me with this 6-minute ab thing.
All right, give me that was a warm up. That was a warm up. Give me one.
I think you proved your point.
Yeah, it's just great. I love their site. So and you can see who's on the IR. They have it all updated. They give you all the points, and then you click on their name, and you can go look at all of their sortable stats. So I do love them. So let's get back to the site we do love the most. This game, but there's some Treadwell to be had in this game for sure. There's a lot of points on the board. I thought this game would be lower, but their defenses are not tremendous. But I think that the total might be lower. Urban Meyer might not make it through the game. He might be fired at halftime.
I hope he's fired before the game. They
tell just fired right now.
Like, hey, we're not taking you back in Nashville. Well, that's not that far from Ohio.
Just drive back to the bar.
Drive through Kentucky from Nashville, and you get to Ohio, and then he'll be back home.
Yeah,
he can hitchhike. He can hitchhike from Nashville to Ohio pretty easily.
Oh yeah, he's got to unzip and let it hang in the wind.
I think Cincinnati's only like a 3-hour drive from there.
Yeah, no thanks, bro. Nate, I'm with Nate. I hope he gets fired right this second. That guy is Garbaggio. Yeah, Garbaggio. Let me just say, nimble with numbers does not approve Urban Meyer. We're not affiliated with him. We do not approve him.
He's a scumbag, and I bet you the players are going to mutinize tomorrow, and you're going to see Tennessee run up the score on Jags because I don't think they're going to play for him.
I agree with you 100%. I think this
Jones, if Marvin Jones, who doesn't say anything ever, is storming out of practice because you've been throwing the whole team under the bus the whole year, Like, if you piss off Marvin Jones, you are a scum human being that's a piece of shit as a person. There's no other way to say that. Like, Marvin Jones, I've listened to the guy talk, and he doesn't have he doesn't get fired up about anything. He's a really even-keeled guy.
He's smiling in every single picture.
He's smiling when he plays football.
I love that guy. You're making me mad, Urban Meyer. You're how are you upsetting Marvin Jones? You know what
I don't know.
What the hell? So anyway, with that,
Marvin Jones is a lunch pail guy.
Right, that's a guy who brings his effort A game every week. So whatever. Let me ask you, Julio Jones 5,400. Do you think we see what we saw the first time he tried to play this week this year coming off of injury, which was just an out of sync Julio Jones with Ryan Tannehill, or do we see somebody who is the Julio Jones that we used to know and is worth rostering at 5,400 because he's owned about 12%?
Yeah. It did spike yesterday. Like I saw him up 14-15%, and it kind of trickled off a little bit. I love Julio Jones. I think he's a season-long fantasy league winner. I think he's going to come back just fine because they wouldn't have put him on the 3-week IR with the 1.5 week injury like they did if they didn't want him for the stretch run. And they definitely need him with AJ Brown being out still and Derrick Henry being out. They need to ride him as a possession receiver with upside. And they're not going to be able to get it done with just Nick Westbrook-Akina and a couple other random guys.
No.
They want Julio Jones to take over that X role like he was supposed to and let them run the offense through him now that Derrick Henry's gone. This is a big Julio Jones game. I'm also going to pivot off him to Nick Westbrook-Akina because I do think he has touchdown upside in this game.
Well, no one ever said Julio Jones had touchdown upside. So
no, he's had a bad run of it. He's either been hurt or playing for the Falcons.
Both of those are daggers. I'm putting a little Dontrell Hilliard in there too, because you know what, he's not too bad. I'm not gonna lie.
I like Dante Foreman better. It's just me. Even though Hilliard's a safer floor with his receiving upside,
put some of him into. Don't worry.
I like Dante Foreman to get 20 carries. And even at 4 yards a clip, he hasn't scored a touchdown yet this year. And that's kind of why nobody's talking about him, because Hilliard scored and Foreman had a touchdown, but it got called back. So give me Foreman this week as a higher upside play because I think he's going to score a touchdown, his first of the year.
I like it. I'm also going to add in a Julio Jones Treadwell little stack there. It's so gross. It makes you want to throw up, right? But I don't care. Laquan Treadwell has been the team leader in targets the last 3 weeks. So, suck on that. That's what it is. So not you particularly, Bo, but just, like reality,
They're going to be talking about me. I'll come over there and whoop you. Rosie doesn't like that at all.
I would not. I wasn't saying it to you. I'm saying it to the ether, right? So let's jump over to another gross game. And a game where, sadly, a lot of players are going to be out for the Lions. I'm not sure if you've checked the ESPN database for Detroit, but they're missing quite a few players on the cornerbacks are down. There's a COVID outbreak on their team. It's bare bones over there for sure. Running back, at DB, at linebacker. It's not good in Detroit. I just want to be honest with you. And they're in Denver, but it's not good. This game could get so ugly so fast. What do you think about this game?
It's gross. I really don't know who to pinpoint who I like more on the Broncos. That's the hard part, is narrowing down who's going to be the breakout performer in that team. With Melvin Gordon back, it cuts Javante's workload in half again. I don't think that they're going to give Javante a full workload like last week because that was more necessity than anything. And all these receivers should be running free because Detroit's defense is overall bad. I just don't know which way to go. So maybe stacking Onslaught against the Lions is good because I don't trust any of their players on their offensive side. Godwin Igwegbinike or whatever, I can't pronounce his last name, but Godwin is a decent upside play for the minimum price.
Yeah.
And then you have Jamar Jefferson, the rookie out of Oregon State, who I don't think he's very good, but you give him enough carries and he might do something.
Yeah.
It's just it's a rough game. I really don't like it at all.
It is, but I'm trying to find the ESPN injury report because it's really bad on the back end for Detroit, particularly, and that's something that I want to highlight. If you are going to be contrarian in this matchup and go away from the running backs, which Detroit's been terrible against running backs, folks, like terrible. So check this out. You have cornerback out, linebacker out, safety out. So you got Gilbert, Beckett, Walker out. Reeves Maben is
they
out.
weren't even good. They weren't good to begin with either.
No, dude, this is terrible. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of your starting defensive players out. Yeah, it's not good. Maybe not starters, but at least 5 are starting. That's not good. That's bad. And they're terrible already. So, I mean, really, realistically, you could play this game onslaught, stack it up. And if you were going to do that, who would you want to pair up in this matchup? Would you go Jerry Jeudy? Would you go Fayette? How would you
I would almost certainly just splinter off a couple of different skinny stacks with Teddy and Jeudy, Teddy and Sutton, Teddy and Fant. I mean, you don't want to get too overzealous over a game like this. But I think Cortland Sutton has that home run potential against the secondary. Teddy Bridgewater hasn't been as reluctant to throw the ball deep this year, and that's why he's turned the ball over more than he ever has. So it's kind of a give and take sort of thing for the Broncos, but I still think it's gonna be hard to get away from the running game that they really want to drive home. It might sound crazy, but I think both of these running backs are going to score touchdowns, so you could pretty much play in either one of them in any format, just because they're not overly priced.
Yeah. Question from Hoove. Love Hoove. Shout out HooveTube. And then also follow Hoove on Twitter and then on SportsMe app. Hoove, I'm going to go Crowder in this matchup. If you're looking for upside, Crowder is your guy. Shout out the Suns earlier.
Yeah. I answered Gage before I found out that Elijah Moore was out. And now that Elijah Moore is out, the answer is Crowder.
Pivot. You got to be flexible. So, and also, by the way, TJ Hawkinson, my wife calls him TJ Hawkenhouse. Well, one time, and I never let her forget it. Hawkenhouse, he's doubtful. They've got no running backs that are their starters. I mean, Jamar Jefferson's in there, and then your friend, the other friend who we can't pronounce his name. But still, it's not ideal. It's
Ikwebuke. Yeah, Ikwebuke. I had to look at it so I could pronounce it.
It's terrible, man. It's just terrible. I do love the onslaughts here. And I know that you're not into Javonte at 5,900. You think it's a little bit inflated. But Melvin Gordon.
No, I'll play him, but he's going to be extremely chalky.
Oh, no, I'm talking about again in our matchup in the cash game. I will say this, though. Melvin Gordon did come out this week and say kind of like, hey, I still want to be here next year. And the Broncos.
The Broncos are signing everybody to short-term deals. So they're like, yeah, let's bring him back, whatever.
Yeah, they're contemplating, which is very interesting. I like them as a duo. It does cap, of course, Williams upside. We saw he did last week against the Chiefs, just monstrous bananas. What a great play! So here's what I like
think. Though, because he gives you a succession plan to cascade pitches in his favor. Like Javonte's more of the Ezekiel Elliott type, and Melvin Gordon's a little bit more quick laterally. And I mean, obviously Javonte's a better player, and he's just better pedigree, to be honest, and he's definitely not up there in age yet. He doesn't have any mileage on his tires. It's going to be hard to, even if they keep Gordon, it's going to be hard to keep Javonte Williams from getting touches, because look what happened with Antonio Gibson this year. They tried to tandem him with a pretty clean split with McKissick. McKissick comes back, gets hurt, and vultures a couple touchdowns, which just pissed me off, but he left the game with a concussion, and ever since that bye week, even the game where McKissick scored twice, Gibson's just getting all the work.
Yeah, he is.
And that's who I compare to who Javonte Williams could be next year is Gibson, assuming they bring somebody like Gordon or somebody else in that ilk back for next year to go alongside Williams, because they're not just going to hand a bell cow role to a second-year guy like that. They're going to be like, oh, we want to preserve our running back for the future, at least so he lasts through his rookie contract.
Yeah, they need a Jamal Williams type in there, just somebody who can kind of be a pass catcher like Melvin Gordon is, and on the ground kind of between the tackles, do both. So not that Jamal Williams is the guy they're going to bring in, but somebody like that, but better, much better. Let's talk about this. By the way, we got through the early slate of games. There's 11 games on the main main slate. We got 7 up front and then 4 on the back end. The 2 early games when the windows are ending after witching hour, Scott Hansen hashtag. After that witching hour, it's going to be like the shitting hour because you're going to have Detroit and Denver kicking off, and then I do like the Chargers in this matchup. It's still the New York Giants, long neck McGee there, our guy Mike Glennon at QB.
What a pathetic franchise.
I know. I do. By the way, Nate, I do like golf for Reynolds. I played Reynolds last week. I think it was maybe against Bo. So Bo knows about that. No, it was against somebody else. But in this matchup, what do you think is going to happen? Is this an onslaught? For me, it is. I picked up their defense too. I think this is going to be only player viable for me would be probably Saquon on the Giants side. But I think that Justin Herbert, a bunch of players are in play given the COVID test positive for Keenan Allen, and then Mike Williams being back after his positive exposure but not test. What do you think about this game?
I love Evan Ingram this week. I mean, he's a terrible football player, old stone hands as I call him. Mm-hmm. But ever since, Jason Garrett got fired, and last week Ingram gets 6 targets, which isn't out of the ordinary for him, but 4 for 61. Usually when you go 4 for 6 from Ingram, when Garrett was the coordinator, it was 4 catches for 27 yards. 4 for 61. And this Chargers team against the tight end position and the running back position is weak because, or I wouldn't even say it's weak, they purposely funnel the opposing team's offense to the middle of the field, so they have to methodically keep drives alive and move the chains. You're not going to beat them over the top. You're not going to beat them outside the numbers. You're especially not going to beat them that way with Mike Glennon at quarterback.
No.
And it's going to be basically they're going to say, hey, we're not going to let you beat us with chunk plays. And the Giants don't run that kind of offense anyway, but they're going to try to run up the seam with Evan Ingram based on last week's game plan. And they're going to pound the rock with Saquon. They're going to give Saquon plenty of work in the passing game. The middle of the field is going to be wide open for those 2 guys. So why not play those 2 guys as high upside plays, because they're going to get enough volume and their talent is up there enough to where you could definitely profit off of Saquon Barkley and Evan Ingram in this game.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley, $6,000 is insane. I know it's a terrible matchup. It is. It's insanely awesome. I'm going to have more than 10% for sure. I'll have about 15%, 20%. I will say this. Ingram's a good play. I had not thought about that at all.
Why not?
I'll tell you.
Did you read Hot Cash?
I did. Now after that's what I was going to say. I had not thought of it until I read you sharing your thoughts, and now my eyes were opened. I could see him getting 8 targets in this game. You know what I mean? Like before, I was not even thinking about 8 targets at 3,600. Yeah, you want to do a dance. Like that's exactly what you want. That's
if he drops 3 of them.
All right, he will. But let's talk about this insanity right here. 17% for Guyton. It's Josh Palmer's season, if anything.
Yeah.
And then Eckler at 20%, and then Williams. I saw this coming. Obviously, 6K, 24%, 25%. Out of these most rostered, who is fool's gold? Who do you pay up for, and who do you leave alone?
This is the worst case scenario for them because Mike Williams isn't the guy they need to win.
Right.
They don't need Mike Williams to win this game, and he started the year off as a very good target monster, and that was when Keenan Allen was kind of still just doing average things, and Mike Williams was the guy he was a stud the first 6 weeks, and ever since then he sucks. And
anyway, I'll pause. He hasn't just sucked. I'll say that one of the reasons he sucked is his target share. Ooh, Keenan Allen's target share.
Right.
Ooh, yeah, because he sucks. Got you on the suck end. Yeah, that was funny.
No, I don't think Mike Williams sucks. I just think he's not that type of guy that's going to take over that role. And for the pricing, Mike Williams is still overpriced for this matchup. I don't think he's going to have a huge game. I mean, it could be wrong because Herbert is just amazing. Like that's right. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL already, and he's only through his first full season.
Yeah.
I like Guyton, but he's picking up too much popularity for me. That's the Keenan Allen replacement on their depth chart. I was hoping that Mike Williams would also be inactive for this game because his direct replacement on the depth chart is Joshua Palmer. So it's going to be interesting to see where they all line up. That's what I don't know about, because Keenan Allen being out throws this whole passing game into flux. And I don't know that Herbert's going to have the one thing that we have seen Herbert is he gets really conservative sometimes. And that could spell doom for this onslaught that you're planning against the Giants, whose defense is terrible. But I just don't know that without Keenan Allen that they function the same way.
Yeah. I thought that that we had Hooper out. Maybe he's not out. Oh, Harrison's
not out, but Harrison Bryant's out.
Right.
And Njoku's out. Everybody's out except Hooper. But Hooper still has no upside whatsoever. He's just like last week's Foster Moreau. Did we already go to the Raiders?
We did. It was the very first game. It's when you kind of cut out. You want to talk Foster Moreau? We can go back.
Foster Moreau went from chalky last week, let everybody down. Except for me, I didn't play him in tournaments because I wasn't going to mess with no upside guy who everybody's going to have. This week, he's not going to be chalky at all, and he's a really good play. So,
you mother.
Last week, I told you to proceed with caution because Moreau doesn't have any upside. And this week, I'm going to tell you the opposite, where nobody's going to be on him because of how much he burned people last week. And he's really not priced down very much from last week's disappointment. The Chiefs are very generous against the tight end position. So I think that Foster Moreau might score a touchdown in this game. And so you're going to have a bounce back. And it'll be sweet because you're not chasing points. You're going behind the letdown and you're saying, hey, this guy's still pretty good. And he's got the same opportunity.
Like a friends with benefits type thing. You know? Yeah, excellent. I like it. I'm eating chocolate, by the way. Shout out the Lind Mint, the Lindor chocolate.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, little Christmas theme. This one did fall on the floor, though. But,
if it's your floor, it doesn't matter.
Keep it clean. Yeah, we do keep it clean here. Oh, look, on the inside, it says, it's one of those like wishes. It says, fuck Bo. Yeah, look at that. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't say that.
That would be impressive. I'd be like, wow, that is some serious investigative work there, Lint.
That's marketing right there.
That's amazing.
That's incredible. Let me just say this. I do like the Austin Eckler chalk. It's still a little chalky, 20%, but I think it's fitting. Giants are bottom half of the league, bottom third of the league, actually, maybe bottom like fourth of the league against the running back position. They give up. Yeah, they don't do good stuff. I can show you here on the running back meter 26. They give up over 26 points, and they've given up almost 1,900 yards. That's not good. That's terrible. No. That's terrible. Darn. Yeah, Austin Eckler bounces back this week. I think a lot of people are on him, but I think he's worth the pay up. If you stack him with a little Saquon, that's when you get a little freaky, a little different. I don't think a lot of people will be running that back. It's a little expensive. That's at 14-3, but I think it's worth the run back. So let's build a stack real quick before we get into our Occupy Fantasy Million Maker build. Let's do this. Let's go running back. And then if you do want to we'll build another one too. If you do want to build one with wide receivers, which wide receiver are you putting in?
Oh, with that game?
Yeah. You going Josh Palmer?
Yeah.
You going Guyton? Yeah, I like Josh Palmer. Not a lot of people are going to be on him.
I would have liked Palmer a lot more if Williams was out. So I like Guyton a little bit too, but everybody else likes Guyton. So I'll stay with Palmer because he's just a better like jump ball receiver. And I think that Herbert likes those guys that you can just throw a 50-50 ball up to. Guyton's a deep ball guy. He's a one-trick pony. He's really, really fast in a straight line, and he can get behind the safeties. And Herbert throws one of the best deep balls in the NFL, but he also likes to trust those big physical receivers like Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Joshua Palmer, Donald Parham. Those are his type of guys, especially when he's trying to score touchdowns.
Yeah. My guy over there, Craig, said, I'm going to need you to guide us. Well, you know what? Thankfully, you've got some of the Sherpas here, like the DFS.
We got you, Craig.
We are. It's not that hard. NimbleWnumbers.com. You got everything.
See, Craig, here. What you want to do is pick the players that are going to score the most points.
Best plays, Pete Overzet always says. Pick the best plays, obviously. Just do that.
I mean, Pete knows.
Pete knows. Shout out Pete Overzet, by the way. That guy is the man. We were doing a little retweeting back and forth today.
He's a man.
He had a Santa Claus picture of Santa Claus down. He goes, Santa Claus down hard, right? Just an inflatable Santa who would fall down in a yard in
He's down bad. He was down bad.
Bad, right? Santa down bad. And then Pat Thorman said, Pat Thorman. I love Pat Thorman, by the way. Go follow Pat Thorman over there. He's worked with, everybody, but I think he's working with Establish the Run. He was kind of mean, and I don't want to, out Pat Thorman. It. Yeah, well, you want to finish it? Did you see it too? Did you?
No, you keep going.
Well, you're doing a great job. If you want to jump in, you are. You're contributing. You know what I mean?
Get out of here.
Yeah, he made fun of somebody's ceiling. That's all. He's just, somebody's. I don't want to out. Go check out Pat Thorman's feed. You can find out who he was making fun of. Is that a tease? Is that inappropriate? Is that And he was talking to Cortland Sutton. He said Santa on the ground face down was Cortland Sutton's upside.
Ouch. See, that's been the strange part about this week is the polar opposite, the parity in opinions about Cortland Sutton. I've seen Cortland Sutton always a breakout opportunity waiting to happen with this secondary that just gives up big deep pass plays all year.
Right.
But Cortland Sutton doesn't have any upside because he's not getting those targets anymore.
The targets matter. They do matter. Let's just be honest. The thing is, though, it's not, and I realize this with Michael Pittman, and this is a good way to think about it, and maybe you already thought about it this way, but if the offensive game plan doesn't require your usage, like you said, for maybe Mike Williams this week, you're not an optimal play. But if it's like a Hunter Renfrow situation last week where you have no Waller, you have no Ruggs anymore, you're forced into being the go-to guy. So you have to actually look at how offenses are working, how they're scheming, and how they're actually playing on the field to understand where that target volume, what you're chasing, and when that value really is. And so you've been on it. I love that. So I want to give that. That's yours. It's not me. I just read what you shared and kind of how you
boom.
Poached it. Yeah, you bowed it. You insufferable, they call it hashtag.
Yes.
I love it. Okay, so let's talk about this game. 53.5. I don't think it gets to this. That's a huge number. But it's pretty fun. What do you think about Josh Allen, Tom Brady? I want to know which of these is the better play. I asked LQ, are you going with the GOAT or are you going with Josh Allen?
I'm going with Josh Allen.
Me too.
Yeah, I think the GOAT's a fine play. I just think that Buffalo's defense is really good. Like all three levels. They're not a slouch. Brady's still going to get his, but it's going to come slower. It might be a nice little sneaky defensive play to go Buffalo's defense. And
he puts up pick sixes. He does that. That's his thing.
He does. He gets under pressure, and the Bills front gets a lot of pressure. They force a lot of bad passes. They stop the run pretty well. I just think Josh Allen has more upside because the Bucs do give it up in the secondary to good passing offenses. They don't give it up to bad passing offenses. They're not just a sieve in the back end anymore. Now that they've gotten some health back, but Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley kind of tandem. That's going to be pretty dynamic this week because Josh Allen's ticked off that he had a bad game and then he had a wind game. And there's not much you can do about that. But I think this week he has the chance to really get back into the fantasy swing of things. And paying up for him shouldn't be too painful.
Yeah, I'll say this too. This is more of a Lenny Fournette game for me just because Buffalo can be dominated on the ground. If you put Gronk at the inline tight end instead
only happened a couple times though.
It happened. You saw what the Colts did to them, and so
the Colts didn't do it to them, but Jonathan Taylor did.
Oh, Jonathan Taylor did. Right. Well, I'm just going to say I don't think Leonard Fournette is going to get you 20 off the break as his projection is a little high on Run the Sims, but I do think that they slow this game down and it's not a shootout because I don't think that Tom Brady wants a shootout right now against this defense because his defense is nasty. Like you said, they're going to come after him. So I think they want to keep the ball on the ground. And so I think this game is going to be a little less provocative than people think. It's a great game. My favorite game on the slate for sure, but not as sexy as 53.5. I think it's going to be around 49. That's my call. Where are you at on this? You under over my 49 total? I'm trending Vegas here. I'm fighting against him.
I'm going way under. I think it's going to be a 40-42 game.
I love it. We're trending the same direction. I like it. I'm not as bold as my brother Bo, but you know what? He's got the pecan takes. Check out his pinned tweet. You'll read some of the things he wrote at the beginning of the year, and a lot of them have.
I was reading through those the other day. Some of them are really, really, really good, and the others are, my God, they're god awful. And some of them, I mean, it was published in early August, before training camp, before a lot of people got cut, before a lot of people got hurt. A lot of people got hurt.
Life happened.
Some of the players got cut and then changed teams, but some of the predictions I made held really true, like really, really true. And then I had some that don't make any sense anymore. But I'll be cherry picking the ones that came true as I go. And I already have been dropping little ones where things have been trending that way, and it looks like my prediction's going to be pretty accurate. But I took a shot on all 32 teams.
Me too. I did the same thing. And I'll tell you where I was wrong. I was wrong at Joe Mixon. I was wrong at Gesicki. Those were two of my swings and misses.
Oh, Mixon. I can't believe you favored Mixon. That was
I'll tell you why. Honestly, it came down to the injury issue for him. It wasn't talent. It wasn't his ability to. It was just what happened last year made me feel
gets injured, though. Everybody.
Right, but it wasn't even the injury. It was how they managed his injury and the way they communicated his injury. It made me skeptical of not Joe Mixon, but just how the team itself was functioning. And so it made me think, man, this might, if he gets injured again, so I was afraid of the injury.
When they paid him, I was completely okay with loading back up on the Mixon bandwagon.
I think my hate came out before the contract, but still, I couldn't change right away. But so let me ask you, who do you like as the best play in this game between Cole Beasley and Dawson Knox, both at 5K? Dawson Knox at 3%, though, and Beasley at 9%. How are you placing these two friends?
I like Beasley a lot because he's still picking up too much chalk for me. Or is he? No, he's not. I like Beasley. For some reason that I see the Bucs running a lot of zone, and so it's going to be the kind of game where Beasley's just going to kind of run those little underneath routes and take what the defense gives him. I also like Diggs a lot because he's got upside. I'm not a huge fan of Knox. I think Knox is a great play. He's just kind of overpriced.
He is a little overpriced. If you pay up $1,000 more, you got the Gronk, the best 90-plus touchdowns with Tom Brady. It's one of the best duos of all time.
They're coming up on Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison.
Shout out, Marvin. If you don't shoot a gun in the air every time you hear Marvin Harrison's name, you're dead to me. Marvin Harrison. All right. Yep. Read that story. You want to know how Marvin Harrison hangs in Philly. Anyway, I'll say that this game does have the ability to shoot out, and I do like the contrarian play of going Josh Allen over Brady, but Brady is underpriced, I think, a little bit. Or overpriced a little bit. I'm sorry, excuse me. He should be about 7,300. So I'm understanding where the ownership is at the 6.8%. They both have upside, though. If the game shoots out, you're going to want to have one of them. Hopefully you do. Let's build a stack. Which quarterback how do you want to do this? Let's just say I've got Josh Allen in. You want to go Josh Allen, Diggs, running back with Fournette. Do you want to have Gronk in there? How are you stacking this up?
Oh, give me Chris Godwin back again. I'm going all the way back with that. We have 17 targets last week.
Yeah, he did. He had 17 targets. That was a real thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Do you want Fournette in there or not? I can take him out.
No, I mean, I think he's going to be overly rostered for an inflated price. He's a good play, but not a great one.
Yeah. Yeah, well, run the Sims at the highest projection here. You're getting a 92 total, which is pretty crazy for. Right. Yeah, I like that. That'd be sickness. I will put a Beasley in here in case the Bees gets free. Free the Bees. By the way, I just want to say, not me, but just for people playing along at home with Cole Beasley from the beginning of the season to now, and then Aaron Rodgers and Antonio Brown from the beginning of the season to now. Who would have thought that Cole Beasley was the stand-up guy amongst those three guys? That to me, it was a little bit of a.
He got a bad rap, but all he was calling for was fair testing procedures,
which I understand more so now.
It still doesn't make any sense when you say it out loud. How the NFL tests, where all players can get COVID. Obviously, you've got vaccinated players, you got unvaccinated players. They can all catch COVID. But the unvaccinated players are tested every day, and so they can test positive at any point because they're tested every day. The vaccinated players are tested once a week, so they can pick which day of the week they get tested. And that doesn't make any sense because if they're carrying it around all week, spreading it to their teammates,
which they have,
even though it's less, which is it's not as likely, but it is likely. It does happen. We've seen it all season. Is you don't know until after the game sometimes. If they test on Monday or Tuesday, you don't know that they had COVID the entire weekend playing against everybody else.
It's asinine. And I'll say this part about it too, which is crazy, is that you can, as somebody who's vaccinated or not vaccinated, we saw with Antonio Brown and Aaron Rodgers, you're incentivized to pretend you're vaccinated. You are penalized, as I think it was Cole Beasley was getting for not being vaccinated. Whereas if you are vaccinated, you have no really checks on you. And then you saw people exploit that. And I don't think even that what was Cole was thinking and saying that. He was just saying, though, no, it's not fair.
Yeah, like you said, Cole Beasley came out smelling like a rose compared to the other two guys who outright just deceived everybody so they could play and not get tested as often.
Right.
Beasley was like, hey, I don't mind getting tested every day, but why aren't you testing everybody every day?
Yeah, it's not cool at all. So shout out Cole Beasley. Mea culpa to you, bro. Let's talk about this game, the last game. We'll jump into the Million Maker build and then the clash of me winning 2 weeks in a row. Let's talk this matchup. If our guy Debo plays, I don't think he will. Are you playing him or are you not trusting him after that growing issue? I heard
Debo is playing. Is there new developing news that Debo's not playing? No.
I'm just saying.
Because I heard Debo's playing.
You're playing with Debo. You're going strong with Debo.
Hell yeah. If Debo's playing. This is just like Dalvin Cook on Thursday.
Yes.
If Dalvin Cook is active, if Debo Samuel is active, you put them in your roster. Don't be dumb. These guys are gutting it out. Like Dalvin Cook could have played last week, but the coaches told him it wasn't a good idea because he didn't get a whole week off. Yeah, Debo, I'm expecting him to play. Game time decision off of groin, I think he's going to play, especially with the needs they have at running back. And that's also why I'm fading Jeff Wilson and JaMychal Hasty, because I think Debo plays and he takes a lot of running back snaps away from those two guys.
He does. He's only an 8% roster right now. And I think if it's confirmed he goes in, it's last minute because it's the 425. You can't pivot to anybody else either. So he might just be a dangling participle, as they say.
He's the perfect late swap flex play. So if you have your flex spot in a GPP, put Debo in your flex. And then at 8,000, you're building around somebody like that, but you can also pivot to a different expensive late window guy if he's ruled out. That's what I would do. Is I would put Debo in my flex, and then when things become clear, then I can either keep him in. Yeah, I can keep him in, or I can pivot to a different expensive player.
And you have some over there on the Bucks as well, so you could pivot from them to anybody else. You can pivot to Diggs. $8K to 8-1. Leave yourself $100.
Bingo.
Yeah,
yes.
That's sexy.
See,
that's just
we're walking the chalk. We're walking the walk.
A dingo ate your baby, and your baby was Debo Samuel.
Ate your baby.
I love that. By the way, shout out Elaine Bennis from All right.
Oh, have you seen my fiance? I'm missing my fiance.
Yeah. Bald, Jerry. Bald. That's my favorite line from the series is when George goes out with a woman and she's bald. And then Jerry goes, how was your date? And he goes, bald, Jerry. She was bald.
And he had a problem with it, even though he is also bald.
The ironic part of this episode is this was the episode he had chosen to wear a toupee. So it was very ironic. And then Elaine pulls it off of his head and goes, I don't like this thing. And she throws it out the window. It's one of my favorite episodes of Seinfeld. It's so fun. So just the vanity of folks, which you never see anywhere else ever. So it's good. Not on Twitter, by the way.
No.
No, not at all. Okay, so keeping the positive mind frame this week, not calling out anybody by name or cussing anybody, keeping it all up on the even keel. We're gonna go in this matchup with some stack attacks, and I want to know who's your favorite play from this game. Not named Deebo Samuel because he's already in, but who else do you like in this matchup? Are you going Jamar Chase? Are you going Higgins? I like Chase.
Chase is good.
Chase
is real good.
Chase is a good play. Yeah, and not much rostership, by the way. I'm not gonna spill the beans too much, but Chase is not heavily rostered.
The 49ers don't have much speed in the defensive back department. They've kind of got a hodgepodge group of guys, and so they can be beat deep. And guess who runs the best 9 route in the 2020 rookie class? That would be Jamar Chase.
I got to show you something too, Bo. I found something out when I was researching for the show. If you take a look at the San Francisco,
you were researching for the show. That's more than I did.
I do it every day for all the times I check this. This is my favorite website too. It's ESPN, and it's their injury report. So you go way down here to San Francisco, and then check out this crazy shit. Right, Emmanuel Mosley out. Right, Deontay Johnson out. Hurst out. Greenlaw out. Their defense, a lot of players are out. So not only do they not the best defense, but they're missing some players.
Sounds bad.
It's great. And here's the cool part. People, this is the thing about the NFL. If you don't know this yet, you're going to find out this week. People get last week and they go, oh, this week. Same thing. So you project from last week to this week. It's like the fatal flaws. It's why DFS is what it is. It's not the same, right? You don't pick the plays from last week. You pick the plays for this week. And the plays this week, Jamar Chase.
Chasing the points.
And don't be chasing the points, man. Go Jamar Chase this week. Get those points, Jamar Chase. Sure, brother. When you score 30 this week, tell him Scott sent you. This is the best play in this game, not Deebo Samuel, if he plays. Now, if Deebo doesn't play, I love George Kittle if he doesn't play. And Brandon Ayuk is serviceable as well. But Deebo's the hinge. Yeah.
You saw what happened
Deebo's the hinge. Oh, targets.
I'll chase Kittle points. I will chase Kittle points.
He's got the targets. That was the thing. He had plus what we had 69 targets last week. So I mean, that's the guy you want in this matchup. I'm not touching Tyler Boyd and anybody else there. As a one-offer at the running back position, are you interested in Joe Mixon? He's a little banged up. Not going to lie to you.
If another guy, if he's in, you get a low ownership stud like that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's interesting.
I don't know. I think he's trending on the other side, though. I think better be ready to fire up Samaje Perine, which means don't play the Bengals running game.
I agree wholeheartedly. More reason to go with Jamar Chase. I ran the Sims. Let's take a look at some of these lineups. And oh wow, they're giving you the total, the highest end, which is, that's what you want to see. Actually, I like that. Right. So we got Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara, double stack, Leonard Fournette, Jarvis, Cole Beasley, Mike Williams, Jared Cook. A little double stack here for the charge. Hunter Renfrow and the Browns D. I do like the Browns D. Hunter Renfrow, not a terrible play. Let's look at some of these other plays. Let me tell me your favorite one as we peruse through some of them.
The fourth one, the second one, the one with Taysom Hill, Josh Jacobs, Alvin Kamara, DJ Moore, Mike Williams, Sterling Shepard. I don't like Shepard or Ferkser, but that one starts off really nice.
This one right here, where is it? The Taysom Hill one?
Yeah, that one.
This one right here. We got.
Oh, not with
Elijah.
Yeah, I just like the Hill, Jacobs, Kamara with Gronk. That's a really nice little and Crowder. I would keep Crowder in there. I like Moore in there.
I would get rid of Marvin Jones. Yeah, you could go to somebody else. Cole Beasley.
I like the bones of that one. I like the bones of that build there.
Yeah,
She's got good bones.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Children's bones.
You know what I'm gonna go back here real quick, and because this is the cool thing about Run the Sims, you can go into games and then you can like X out players, right? And be like, I don't want them in my build. And so obviously we know, ourselves that some players are going to be out, like Elijah Moore is going to be out. So we'll just get rid of Elijah Moore. And then there's somebody else they kept putting in who's not going to play as well. Who was that? They put Elijah Moore in. Well, we'll just run the Sims. Yeah, we'll do another run. That'll get Elijah Moore out of those lineups. And he won't even be available. So it put Jamison Crowder and a few more.
Ooh, that one down there.
Okay, no, Elijah Moore's still in for some reason. Yeah.
Taysom Hill, Alvin Kamara, Leonard Fournette, Amari Cooper, Mike Williams, Jamison Crowder, Mark Andrews, Keelan Cole, Carolina Panthers.
That one's sexy.
Oh, that one fudges. That one's a good one. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Put it in the skin box.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're leaving 600 on the table, so it's a little differentiated. I like that too. This one has sex on it for me. Justin Herbert, Saquon, Josh Jacobs. I chased Jacobs out. I switched Josh Jacobs out. But Crowder, Cole, Tyreek, shout out Suns. Hooper, I might switch out for maybe, I don't know, Evan Ingram.
Anybody else?
Yeah, Williams we have there, or maybe Jared Cook in this matchup. Not bad. I love it. So go check out Run the Sims. We've got 2 more things to do before we get out of here tonight and get ready for the NFL Week 14. I love it, man. This is my favorite thing. I get to talk football with one of my best friends, and then I get to watch football all day tomorrow. I mean, it's just in heaven. Yeah,
Who?
You motherfucker. You. Yeah. All right. So here's what we have. We have every week I put the DraftKings Millie Maker lineup build here. We're going to build this up. We're going to start it though over here on runthesims.com. We're loving Run the Sims this year with Brian Jester. Check him out. He is a Millie Maker winner who created Occupy. What I call it. Sorry, I'm inflating. Sorry. Yeah, OccupyFantasy.com. We love Brian Jester. He won the Millie Maker in the last Tom Brady as a Patriots Super Bowl against the Rams. He went defense in the captain. You know how that turned out. Won himself a little Millie Maker, started Occupy Fantasy, and this is Occupy Fantasy lineup builder. I love it. So let's talk about QB. I love Dak. You love Dak. You just want to marry Dak and put him in the lineup, or is that just me?
Don't have any issue with that at all.
But tell me if you want to pivot to somebody else, because I mean, it's gonna. If you put Dak in, we're gonna stack him with Cooper, Gallup, or Lamb. So we're turning our ship in a direction.
I'm doing the Dak Cash thing though. That's kind of
Right.
where I'm at.
So
I want the highest upside for its price, which would be Taysom or Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh, so which one? I mean, Patrick Mahomes is not very. Look, 5.7. They're not.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
That's crazy.
The best play. Hey, what did Pete Overzet say?
Play the best plays.
Yeah,
play the best plays. That's what you do. So let's play the best plays. So let's put Tyreek in, right? And then do you want to put Kelsey in too, or just leave it with these two?
Start with these two. I want to see how it shapes up.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Plays.
Okay, so let's check out some running back plays now, and we'll get away from the team. It's so easy to use this tool, by the way. See how I'm just flickering about like a butterfly. I know he's expensive, but Alvin Kamara. Oh my gosh, what do you think about Alvin Kamara? He's got to be in here, right?
I just can't find any reason not to.
Right? So look, now we've paid up.
Stars and scrubs type week, baby.
Let's pay down a little bit at our next spot at running back. How far do you want to slum it? What are you thinking, price wise? You want to go 4,400?
You can go basement. You can go Ty Johnson. You can go. I even like Kareem Hunt as a high upside mid price guy that nobody's gonna have. Amir Abdullah. I like so many guys down there at the bottom.
At the 48, yeah, you're not picking up a lot of ownership here. Ty Johnson is an interesting play for sure. 2.3, that's 4,400. Is there anybody lower in the min price that you would, jump to?
Godwin I from the Lions would be the lowest price, the min price guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking of him. Do you want to do something like that, or you want to go like, P. Ryan maybe? You want to, because that's a late swap. Now, if we late swap, we have to have someone to late swap. Yeah, which makes it very dangerous. So
don't do.
We could switch. Okay, well, let's get a little more expensive then. You know what I mean? Like, just between you and me, we have money. We didn't we didn't spend it all
yet.
No. We can do.
Let's see mid-priced guys that are underpriced. Antonio Gibson comes to mind.
Let's go Antonio Gibson. I do like Antonio Gibson. He's 6,000. That's good for us. That's good for us. He's a little rostered, but that's fine.
What's the roster percentage on him? That's how high?
23. But that's fine. We're gonna go kind of differentiation here. Let's pick some some wide receivers. Who are you thinking down in the lower end? Are you gonna go Palmer, Guyton? How does your upside index here lead you to?
It's Palmer. It's Palmer.
Oh, it's been Palmer for days. It's been Palmer for
me since the preseason.
It has been. Put Josh Palmer in. All right, then we can get rid of this. All right, now what else do we want to do? We're averaging right now, price-wise, 4,100. You want to go lock in a defense to give us some knowledge of where we're going to be with price with the rest of our team? I always like putting in a nice little defense here.
Saints defense. Stack with Kamara.
Stack with Kamara. There we go. Saints D. Okay, now we're at 43. Let's go tight end. I think tight ends are we cannot afford Kelsey, unfortunately.
That's okay.
We've got some other friends down here that are cheap.
Not your fault. It's not your fault.
Hooper, O'Shaughnessy, not my faves. Let's just be honest here. I'm not really into them. Yeah,
I mean, if we're going down, if we're going really down there, you can go with Brock Wright of Detroit at 2,500 in place of Hawkinson. You can go with Donald Parham at 2,800, Jared Cook 3,200. I probably would opt to go up to 4,000 Foster Moreau in a bounce back.
Let's put him in. Let's put Moreau in and see. We've got 9K.
Here's your run back. There's your run back for the Chiefs stack.
Okay. I like it. People are going, Coach said Brock Wright. Yeah. He was very excited about Brock Wright. I wanted to throw Coach Craig up there. Shout out Coach Craig. Follow him on Instagram, Twitter, all your local, OnlyFans, everything you need. All right. So now here's where we can find a min price. We can find a min price guy or somebody lower and then go 5+K in that 5+K range that has some upside for wide receiver. So let's talk about what we're going to do here. How you want to approach this. We can't get above the 6K price. It's just not possible, right?
That's fine.
So,
that's fine.
I'm just giving you the parameters here. They have Mike Williams at 6K. That's right where he's priced now.
Nope, not doing it. I'm putting Michael Gallup.
Julio Jones.
Michael Gallup is in every lineup I have.
Michael Gallup. We got Amari Cooper 59. You could do that.
Nope.
No, Michael Gallup. Okay, Michael Gallup is in. Now we have a flex situation where we can spend 3,500. So let's do this. Let's get our monies good to go, and then you can see we're here we go. All right, so we've got some run back options in the Washington game with your boy Gallup. We've got Humphreys, but then even lower we have our guy DeAndre Carter, 3,400. Zay Jones, we talked about him. Treadwell. I think Wilson is out for this matchup, or is he good to go? We don't want to double stack anyway in that.
Zed is out. Zed Wilson's out.
I thought he was out. Gabe Davis is available. How are you approaching this? What are you thinking?
Ooh. I do like some Gabe Davis.
Yeah, what do you think?
Let's see. Zay Jones, but I already have Moreau. I don't want to double there.
I can check a little bit cheaper as well.
Let's pivot off Gibson because he's more rostered than I expected, and Kim and Kamara combined is like 40%.
Yeah, it was a huge number. So
let's go below Gibson at running back. save a couple $100 and then go back to flex.
Okay.
What do you
so
say?
below Gibson, we have Saquon at the same price. Chuba Hubbard, same rostership though, so not really only $100. Oh, so that's Williams. Chuba Hubbard down a lot, but only 100 less. You have James Robinson, who was benched last week. Surprisingly, that was weird. Yeah, so it's weird. Urban Meyer fired him now.
Idiot.
Yeah, we could go with Kareem Hunt, your boy, 5,600. You talked to him earlier. We have Dontrell Hill, your boy Foreman up here as well at 57. Anybody in there?
I like Kareem Hunt. I don't know why. Kareem Hunt's just screaming to me this week. He has been since Monday. For some reason, I'm like, there's something in my, that gut feeling you get every once in a while that just like, you're like, it doesn't sound that good, but you just have that feeling. And whenever you don't play that gut feeling, that's the one that goes off. That's Kareem Hunt for me this week.
He is in, he's loaded, he's locked. And now we've got 3,900 to go. Running back pivot away, wide receiver. Let's check it out. What do we have here? Let's pull it from the top rope here. Jump in there. There we go. So we've got a little bit more money. We can go all the way up to Deshaun Jackson if you want to run it back. I don't really.
Nope.
Curtis Samuel's available now. Not a lot of this. Mostly the same players though. Donovan Peoples, but we already have Kareem Hunt. So anybody that you're shadowing down here that you think might be somebody of worth? We could pivot off of Josh Palmer as well.
We can pivot off of Austin Moreau and go Evan Ingram.
Let's do that. I like that better.
I think Ingram has a little bit more upside and he's cheaper.
Yeah, he is cheaper.
Weird how we kind of we're a little more wishy-washy this week, but I think it's gonna be worth it at the end because we're whittling down to plays that even when we're not spending a bunch of money, we're keeping the upside there.
I think we want
1.1%. Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's by the way, that's from Big Mouth when Andrew is in the pornscape. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. You got LaVisca Chenault. Oh no. Oh no. Let's get out of here. Hold on. Not that many plays opening up. Josh Reynolds, if you wanted to go crazy here, does open up.
I do.
Is there any running back that we could put in the flex? Right now, we're just looking at wide receivers. We could go running back.
I thought you had opened it up for a flex play. Put the tight ends in there too.
I should just put all the flexes in. Sex and a flex is in effect. So let's
44. I was like, where are all the players? Come on, Scott.
Stupid. So Ty Johnson's there. I mean, Jeff Wilson's there too. That's an upside play. Both of those guys are upside plays.
For what Jeff Wilson's going to do, he's getting all the chalk.
Right, but look where we're at. We're at 61. Who cares? We can do anything we want. So the chalk doesn't even matter. Yeah. So who do you think is just the best play now out of all the players that we have? That's the question. So we've got these two before we go to the next page. And then, you've got Darius Slayton, who, I mean, he's the only player playing. Oh, we have never mind. Yeah, I mean, you've got LaVisca, Chenault again. Yeah, so we're back in the terrible range here of players. I mean, you've got the running backs. You got your boy Foster Moreau's back on the table if you want to go double tight end. I'd rather go running back. I'd rather go Ty Johnson. Or actually, the Saints defense is pretty good. I'd probably rather go Jeff Wilson, who I know you don't like, but 44.
Well, we're not going to run players. We're not going to run Jets players against our defense that we're stacking.
Yeah, exactly. So, what do you want to do?
I want to get crazy.
I mean, I know you don't like Wilson, but he does have upside. I'll say this: Kluge pointed out when he starts, right, and we could try to pivot. If there's a pivot down here, who would you want to pivot to at 4,400? In the late window? Is there somebody that you want to pivot to? We could go to the teams and see
if
the late.
Here's me getting crazy. Is I think we should go to a cheaper defense and throw Jamison Crowder in there.
Okay, All right. I
Do
don't
you hate
think
that
that's
idea?
crazy at all. No. I'm
'Cause I'd rather
okay
have
with defense.
I'd rather have a flex like Crowder than a defense like the Saints. Because especially
Yeah.
if we have this inkling that the Jets might score some points.
Yeah. Okay. That leaves us 3,300 for a defense, which I mean that's very
Pretty much all of
reasonable.
Almost all of them.
Yeah. That's I don't feel very troubled with that price.
We got some good ones in there. We got the Panthers that'll be chalky.
Yeah, but right now, look, we're at 54%
Browns.
with our build.
Yeah. You got your Browns.
Yeah, it's scary against Lamar, man. Scary against Lamar. You have the Ravens. I mean, what do you think about the Ravens? Yeah, the Ravens are right there too.
Oh, we
You
got
can go
Kareem Hunt in there. We don't want to run players against our own defense. That's burned me too many times this year where it's just oversight.
Oh
and
yeah,
ends
we
up
have the
killing.
Ravens.
Like running
No.
running the Bills defense against JT earlier in the year cost me a lot of money.
Yeah, let's not do that. What about though? I mean, I'm afraid of the Panthers, honestly. Them kind of falling apart.
Me too.
You know, not to lie, I am. What do you think about the Seahawks against Houston? They're chalky, but it doesn't really matter for us.
It doesn't matter. It's 27s. Their index. It's pretty high. Go sort by index. I don't want to look by price.
Okay. Come on, you. So Seahawks are third. Yeah. You'll put them in? Be crazy.
I think it's
The
great.
Browns?
I think the Browns because it correlates with Kareem Hunt.
Let's put it in. We leave 600 on the table. I'm
They
comfortable
picked
with
off
it.
Lamar Jackson 4 times. They had his number.
That was
Yeah,
the Browns had the Ravens, a bye week, and the Ravens, so they haven't had to prepare for any other team.
That's 100% true. Yeah, I mean, we definitely have. This might be our worst team, or this might be our best team. I'm
But
not
look
gonna
at
lie.
our studs. We get stars and scrubs, United States right here.
No,
We
do.
got the stack. We got Mahomes and Hill stacked. We got Kamara against the Jets. We got Kareem Hunt, who pretty much everybody's forgotten is great at football because he got a little banged up. And he was outscoring Nick Chubb before he got hurt. Like all these things are memory issues for DFS players. The recency bias is so strong in DFS communities. You have to be able to look back more than a couple weeks to see what kind of player a guy is this year. In good matchups, you can't ignore good matchups.
No, good matchups are what win you at all. You know what I mean? So, Gallup. That's what I need. I was like, I know I need somebody else in there.
Don't
I need
forget
to-
my guy.
No, I
That's
need
the
to switch
one
my-
guy I endorsed wholeheartedly.
Yeah, well,
Best value. When I wrote out my own projections and points per dollar, that was the highest value I got was Michael Gallup. I have him for 23 points at 5,500.
That was your guy. I'm putting. Let's see who our last guy is in there. I'm putting. We can get Josh Palmer upgraded. By the way, we need to check this out and just give ourselves the wherewithal to do it. So let's say we take Palmer out, right?
Got a wide receiver.
Yeah, hold on. We sorted by index, and so we didn't have it sorted by price. So let me do that.
It's okay.
So now we're opening up Curtis Samuel. If you wanted to run him back, and not a lot of other players. It's probably one of the only players that we've not had.
Yeah, remember we didn't like this range, and I would have liked Guyton a lot more, but he's way chalky for what we're expecting out of him.
Yeah. So
Looking at the rest of these guys now.
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely, if we wanted to, we could do Guyton over
Oh.
Palmer. What'd you say?
Do you want to do the Chiefs double stack? Because Byron Pringle's going to do some work.
Oh yeah, let's do that. That's a great way to leverage, bro. I love it.
Here we are.
Yeah, there we go. Oh,
Once you pop, the fun don't stop.
oh, hello. This is gonna be a sexy time with the fun games. Oh yes. Let me go this way. Where's it at here? It's hiding from me for some reason. Where are you at here? There we are. And there we go. There you go there. Gonna go get a little Pringle. And then our DST. We're not gonna get the Chiefs DST. Sorry, bro. Bro. We're gonna go get ourselves the Browns. The Browns. Were they 2,700?
Browns.
The Browns. All right, here we go. This is our lineup. Let's put it in. $20. Let's win $1 million. This is our team. Congratulations. We've got Pat Mahomes, Kareem Hunt, Alvin Kamara, Crowder, Gallup, Hill, Ingram, Pringle, the Browns, and then I like to sneak it in here in case I win my own.
That good old play action,
Little side action, reach around action.
I gotta get a little something here. I might attempt to bring it into one of these other ones now too. Here, I don't know, single entry. Now these are double ups. Get out of here. All right. Last thing we gotta do before we get out of here. Thanks for sticking with us, everybody who has been here. Pringle. We're gonna check out the latest content from your boys, and that should be the Clash of the Beards and the Bellies. You want to read your intro, my friend, while I guzzle water like a motherfucker?
Something about a blind squirrel. That's you, Scott. Don't let his gruff exterior fool you. Scott Simpson is incapable of doing harm. That is, unless you're in the DraftKings lobby with banks of flickering fluorescent lights and creaky floorboards. In that world, he's leaning into the bricks in a leather jacket, carving a Fuji apple with a switchblade knife. I just picture you doing like a gangster thing. For some unknown reason, he's wearing skull rings on every finger and keeps muttering something about ROI under his breath. Like a wild animal backed into a corner, his pupils contract to pinpoints, and he hisses and shrieks before mounting a furious counterattack. I had him driven to that, with a month of deprivation from the sweet, thick nectar of victory. Parched, he championed a trio of wide receivers who rode in on translucent steeds to the tune of 84.4 fantasy points. He coaxed an immortal goat from his patch of thistle to cap off a resounding 27-point triumph over my more than adequate band of hired guns. I didn't do bad. I had a great lineup, and I liked my lineup. It was quite strong, but Scott's lineup was the highest score in the Clash so far this season. It was quite remarkable how vividly I pictured the squirrel in Ice Age finally capturing the elusive acorn. Scott is the squirrel. Ice Age has multiple sequels. I will have my vengeance in an eruption of pyroclastic flow.
As a pyroclastic flow appreciator from the old National Geographic movies from the 80s and the 70s, and the people who would go and they built their own suits to go jump into these things and get data back. I appreciate the usage. Let's take a look at this bad boy about to erupt. You got Dak Attack, which I have as well. Talk about your other hired guns, though. We've got one of them in the Clash in our Maker lineup.
Yeah, I mean, and we almost had both of them, but Gibson for me, it's about volume. He's getting all the work since their bye week. His stress fracture in his shin must be healed up enough where he's not showing any ill effects lately. He's just looking like a dog out there, kicking butt. 30+ touches the last 2 weeks. Alvin Kamara, fresh off a knee sprain, they gave him an extra week to heal up. They had a Thursday game they could have played him in against Dallas, and then they gave him 10 days off for a total of 4 weeks with no game action to aggravate it. And now they're in a win now mode, and they should steamroll the Jets, but I think that they're going to need to win that game. They cannot let the Jets hang around in that game, and it's a must win. They're going to lean on their best guy like they always do. Alvin Kamara is the guy they always lean on. And I can just see both of my running backs, just like last week, both of my running backs carrying my build.
I like both your running backs, by the way. And shout out Craigar Uith from the Lord of the Rings. No, from Game of
from Vikings. He's just from Vikings.
Game of Thorns. Now we love this guy. Check him out, please. Go follow him on Twitter and his burner account over here, Jurassic Park something or other. Gallup, you have in all your builds. I mean, 500. Would you start him over Dalton Schultz in your flex?
Yes.
Here's the thing. I got Dak. I've got CD, and then I have Gallup, and I have Schultz. I have no other tight end though, so like I would have to pick up another tight end.
Just run onslaught Cowboys. It really hasn't cost you yet. I mean, they're going to throw the ball.
Well, this is to get into the playoffs and the BFFs. Here's a question: Would you play Gallup over Ayuk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I just gotta pray that every pass from Dak it goes to somebody other than Amari Cooper because my opponent has Amari Cooper. But
yeah,
I get the points of it.
I mean, I just think that this secondary is not built to stop the Cowboys. They're a really bad, unathletic, slow secondary that doesn't really find the ball well when the ball's in the air. They're not good at finding the ball in the air. And that this Cowboys receiving core is going to put so much stress on their ability to get in the passing lanes, which is the only way to beat Dak is to just get in his way. Like he's every bit as accurate and throws with great anticipation. But if you can throw robbers and spies in his passing lanes to cover his hot read, and then you get pressure on him, you can get Dak flustered and he's going to make some bad throws, or he'll make throws where he just doesn't see the defensive player and throw an interception. That's Washington's only hope in this game is to do what they did to Tom Brady and just kind of get in the passing lanes. But this is going to be a really, really tough ask of the Washington secondary against this receiving core.
Yeah. Well, here's what you did. I'm going to hold
on. He's sneezing
twice. Normally it's 4 times. I'm old. It was always twice. All of a sudden it's going like 4 or 5 times. So annoying. You got Josh Palmer and Nick Westbrook-Akina, 7,500 total for those two. Nice little buy downs there for cash.
Oh, and did you notice that both of my spin down receivers last week hit 3 max? Did you notice that?
I noticed that, but I'm a little worried about your tight end and your flex because I think they're even better plays. You notice you got a lot of green on your side here for sure.
Yeah, it's still a 50-50 or a head-to-head. It's still a cash game, and you take the path of least resistance to quality touches.
I agree,
and that's kind of what I built this lineup on. Is I'm counting on the Carolina Panthers to handle their business against the Falcons like they did a couple weeks ago. Chuba Hubbard, when they played the Falcons, had the full workload just like he will have this week, although that was before they signed Amir Abdullah. And so it will be interesting to see what that split is. I think Hubbard can carry the volume better than Abdullah, but he's not a very good player. But I'm just hoping that he gets enough touches and falls in the end zone, gets a little bit more receiving work, even though he's got bricks for hands. The Panthers defense is a high upside play for me. Matching up with Hubbard volume. I think it's a good little stack there. And Kelsey speaks for itself. I've been waiting for Kelsey to come back on the main slate, and there's no way I'm not going to play him.
Yeah, I like it. I'm just going to say go Cordell Patterson in this matchup for sure. That's my guy. So let me jump down to mine. I'll read my intro. And then we'll get into my call. I said, don't call it a comeback. I said, literally, don't call my resounding victory over Bo in the clash of the Beards and Bellies last week a comeback. I'm officially 5-8 against Bo through 13 weeks of NFL action. It's pathetic. No celebration for me this week. I'll start celebrating when I'm over 500. Right, Jeff Fisher? And then we got to watch this video because,
There you go.
Yeah.
7. Okay.
And he's not. That's it. That's all we're going to give you for Jeff Fisher. He's not going that. And so, sorry, I got to get back to it. Oh, no, I closed our window. Well, you know what? So easy. It's one of my first saved here, Nimble W numbers. This is my team here. I'm going to go over my team. My team is pretty good, I think. I got Dak. I'm going Josh Jacobs in cash. I think he has got value. Javonte Williams has upside against that 30th ranked terrible Detroit defense falling apart half of the COVID riddled. Mike Evans, 6,600. You look at the defense, you go, oh man, it's the Bills. They've got no White. White is out. That's a big
Davius White.
That's a big problem. That's a stop. Mike Evans has a huge height advantage over the corner who will be facing up against him. I think he's 5'11".
Height advantage on every corner. Come on, Scott.
also's got 50 pounds on him or 40 pounds on him. So he's
he does that on every corner. We're talking about guys 6'5", 235. You're not going to have a corner out there that's going to be as big as Mike Evans.
It's going to be a huge beast. 6 touchdowns the last 6 games is going to be a show. I'm all about Mike Evans. I think he shows out at 6,600. It's a great value. And then I've got your boy.
I think your team is really, really lacking upside except for your Dak to CD Lamb connection.
Well,
I think your team's
how
capping itself at every turn. And
I know.
This is why I warned you that there's only a few plays on your team that I like. I think you're going to get blown out this week, Scotty.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. What is Jeff Wilson? Let's say that our boy Debo even does play. What's Jeff Wilson's role in the offense in the games he's played in?
He's going to get a lot of carries. I think they're going to run the ball a ton.
Right.
He's the healthiest. He's still not healthy.
Right.
JaMychal Hasty's hurt. Wilson's coming off injury, and he's averaging under 4 yards a carry this season.
Yes.
And really all we can say about Wilson in his entire career is that he's been a touchdown vulture for Raheem Mostert and anybody else playing running back for the 49ers. So you better pray to God that he scores a touchdown because otherwise his ceiling is 12 points.
I'll say this. In the 6 games he started, he's averaged 17 points per game. So that's what I'm banking on as a cash play at 4,400. I didn't have enough to go.
He's only started when everybody else has been hurt, and this isn't a great matchup. I don't think the Bengals are a slouch, nor do I think the Bengals are going to fall behind in this game. I think it's going to be a dogfight, and the 49ers are going to be forced to throw the ball. Where Jimmy Garoppolo under pressure, this Cincinnati defense gets a lot of pressure. I mean, their Trey Hendrickson guys got a sack in 8 straight games. This is a bad matchup for the 49ers. I'm afraid that the Bengals can go in there and do work.
I'm just going to say this. The San Francisco is up against a defense that gives up about 25 points per game to the running back. So maybe they're not all going to be headed my guy's way, but if he gets me 16, 17 points, I'll take it, right?
That's a good value. It's a great
price. Take it. Right. It's about value.
Yeah. If you get ceiling performances out of 3 of your guys, I think you'd be lucky.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'll be lucky if I get it from Ricky Seals-Jones. I do like now thinking about the Evan Ingram pivot. I'm touchdown dependent here for sure, but this game could shoot. That's what I'm hoping out here with your guy Dak and with CD for sure. I'm hoping upside, big game. And then I'll end it here. I'm running it back with the Browns against our guy
Browns.
Yeah, Browns. So that's it, man. I appreciate everybody. But where can people find you, good sir?
The tag right here, Twitter at @Bo_McBigTime. Same handle on the SportsMe app. Make sure you check in and debate me, debate Scott, debate everybody, argue. You can say whatever the hell you want. Don't be disrespectful. Don't be racist, sexist, chauvinistic. Just be yourself and throw out your hottest opinions. I mean, this is the perfect platform for somebody like me who's all about throwing out my opinion on everything sports related. This app it's a calling for me. As Scott knows, I'm on every single battle, and I win a good deal of them. So come and give me a challenge. I'm over 100 wins on SportsMe now. I'm just going to tout myself here because I do all these things with these great companies, Ball Blast, IBT. It just comes down to I do what I love. It's a passion of mine. It was a hobby, and now it's a passion, and it's a source of income. So it's really nice to be able to do this show and push everybody that I work for, or freelance for, or just kind of provide for, including nimblewithnumbers.com.
I do. I love it, man. I appreciate you so much. I'm thankful for you this holiday season. I'm going to miss you next week at the Christmas party. I will. Here's what I will do though. If the Christmas party is still going at 10,
is it open bar?
Yeah. I drink.
Is it open bar? Is it host bar?
Yes, but people bring their own drinks sometimes too.
Why would they bring their own drinks if it's an open bar?
Well, I don't have that deep of a bar. You know what I mean? That's fine.
No, it's like you have a Christmas party. You're going to a Christmas party, and there's like an open bar where you just walk up and order whatever drink you want. It's covered. That's the only reason to miss the show.
Well, it's at my house. I'm hosting.
Oh, it's your Christmas party.
It's mine. Right. So what we do
is,
yeah, we bring up Mike and his wife are coming over, and I got 2 other friends. So three of us guys will be drinking. And so here's what we'll do. Honestly, at 10 o'clock, I will put on YouTube in my basement with my friends, and I will turn it on at 10. I'll go, this is my fucking show. You want to see the show I'm on? This is my partner, Bo. He's going to talk some mad shit about me because I'm not on the show. Check this shit out. At the end of my Christmas party, I'll put you guys on. And I'll just be like, this is my guy. This is what we do. He's running the show. So
I'm going to write up some really fun roast jokes for you.
Roast me, please. It would make me laugh so hard. And my wife will be there too. So feel free.
It's going to make you cry. She'll laugh, but you're going to cry.
Please do. You can follow me at Nimble W Numbers. Here is me and my amazingly wife. You know,
I didn't know she was. She hung out in the swamp and married Shrek.
she did, man. And today she got to, Anyway, I'll just say this.
Put that picture back up there, and now scroll down to my comment.
Oh yeah, well this was. I can't. It's on my picture, so I'm not actually in my feed. But I'll go to my media and see if I can do it that way.
Yeah,
So here's my tweet, and then check out Bo underneath. It's not from his tree, but it might as well be. It's
the same positioning. There's the same branch in between, the same white lights. I'm like, dude, well, this is creepy.
I didn't steal this from you. I stole this from somebody else. So
it wasn't my wife's Instagram, was it? Because I couldn't find it anywhere. I was like, what the hell is going on here? That's from my tree.
You know what? It might have been from her friend. Was her friend over and take a picture of your tree?
Yeah, probably was Darcy.
That's probably where I got it from. Right? Yeah.
I knew it. It was like too much. There's too much coincidence there.
Yeah, no, it's great. Well, this is Bo's, so shout out to Bo. Bo's looking hung. I like it, Bo.
I'm also very delicious and with the icing on there.
Yeah, lick the icing is what Bo's saying. Yes. So, I love you guys. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Go win some money tomorrow. When you do, let us know. I'd say I'd pump the Patreon, but you know what? I'm more about just giving the stuff out for free. Really, Patreon's free right now. Anyway, so sign up. There's links in our articles, and Patreon is free. So sign up for free. Enjoy our free picks. Yeah. So
free tattoo for free.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say, Bo, as we get out of here?
No, that's been a great show. We ran over 2 hours for the first time in a while, so it's been great. I love it.
I love seeing you, man. Can't wait to win this money with you tomorrow. And check out Bo. Who we talking about food? Who we talking about football? What time are you guys doing that? Like 9 o'clock Eastern time, 6 a.m. your time? What time are you getting on there?
Yeah, 9 o'clock Pacific. So noon Eastern, DFS tailgate with in between media.
Do it. Subscribe, like.
We do player props and we do DraftKings. So
I love it. Check them out. Check us out. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.